welcome back in, everyone, for another day of Masquerade. And let's have everyone introduce themselves for the young and old, so that way we actually can keep our habits going and I don't screw them up thanks to my, ADD brain.
That's fair. Hello, everybody. Of course, my name is Shin, but on the dark nights like this, I like to pull a little bit of crimson from my back pocket and embrace my true self as Grayson Titan Holland of the clan Tremere.
Hey everybody, I am the sexy emo popsicle. I am the half-blood. I'm gonna stick with that title. Or Dawnbreaker, either or. I prefer
let's go with the latter.
But I play a thin blood, and I cannot wait to get into some of the mischief.
Hello everybody, insert snarky catchphrase here. My name is Morgan Caldwell, and I play Crescent y La Sombra.
I am Blue. Hello. I take photos of the others, and I break the camera. But I play Onyx O'Connell.
Okay, don't take all the credit for that.
Just have a conversation about self-deprecation here. Jeez.
Yeah, I see that's around.
Hey, yeah, you're over here being like, oh, that's self-deprecating.
Hey,
I called myself
do as
sex.
I say. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay?
Don't sound like my mother.
Okay, you know something is wrong when the Malkavian is making sense, alright?
And as always, the leader, co-wrangler, as well as constant observer of this coterie, I'm as Peter, last name Needham. I'll be your storyteller. Let's go on before my brain breaks any further.
It's hard to get past emo popsicle.
Sexy emo popsicle.
Alright, he gave himself that.
1,000 pardons.
Gotta get that SCP, right?
Sexy emo popsicle.
This coterie makes me want to murder people.
I promise, we're masters of horror, guys.
Yes, of course.
I'm not.
So, now that we've gotten a lot of footage for my wife to cut out later for the YouTube, let's begin.
Yes, thank you for that, guys.
We now fade back in towards the ESSC. Crescent and Grayson flying down the highway on the back of her bike. Duncan McTavish's rifle bundled and strapped to her back. And a bag of ash in Grayson's pocket. A memento of victories conquered. It does take a little bit of time. I just have to ask, for the sake of consistency, Acer and Onyx, is there anything you would like to try and get done while your coterie mates are on their way back to me?
I believe I already made my third pill last time.
Correct. And it was, I believe, enhanced.
Correct. So, other than getting that ready, he's probably just going to get a backpack full with his basic stuff. A change of clothes, his experimental thing that he still hasn't tried out, knives because he doesn't have his swords anymore. Onyx, would you mind terribly if I took one of these serums as a precaution?
Which serums?
The 3 that you currently have in my fridge.
I mean, your body, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. Since I have her permission, I will be taking a syringe. I will, one of my injectors. I will fill that up with the serum and then stash that in my bag as well.
No worries. I will say, as you pierce the needle through the sealed cap of this vial and begin drawing out, it is a very viscous fluid, almost the consistency of honey. It's thick, and it takes time to fill the applicator, but after a moment, as Onyx, you watch that reddish, blackish blood begin to swirl into the vial and fill. I'm not sure how to feel about it. Just with your natural detective eye, just something concerns you. It's just like a whisper in the back of your mind. It probably is useful. Maybe it works. Does at least what Jordan written down, but you being naturally skeptical makes you worry.
You do whatever you want to do, and whether it gets you killed or not, but I would be real skeptical of using that. You know what I mean? Not just because it looks gross.
Trust me when I say this, I have enough faith that this thing will really fuck me up, so I'm literally going to only use it if I'm about to die.
Okay. Do you think does Crescent usually put you in situations where you're about to die?
He kind of looks at you for a second, and then you kind of see this face of, it's not really Crescent who usually makes the situation worse. Like, you can tell that little air of guilt that he has around it.
I need to rethink helping y'all out more. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll say with the upgraded lab, the applicator is fairly sturdy, but just bear in mind if your backpack is jostled around, anything you have stashed in that is made of glass, even tempered, could potentially break.
That's a good point. You know what? I'll, with the spare clothes that I have in there, I'll wrap it around there just to give it some more durability.
Fair
just
enough.
In case.
Anything else?
No, that is all for him at the moment.
And what about you, Miss O'Connell? Any preparations, any last-minute things you wish to do? You would get the sense that pretty much to get anywhere in the city takes roughly about half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I don't live here, so nothing that I would want to grab is nearby. I have my gun, and I have my jacket.
And is that your Beretta or the Marlin?
I probably would have grabbed the Beretta, but I don't know if I would have grabbed the Marlin because I didn't expect to be going out somewhere.
Yeah.
Does the Beretta use standard handheld bullets? I don't know much about guns. They use standard. I think I might 44. Have like a 44. I think I might have like a spare pack if you want to stock up on bullets.
I would take some extra if you're offering.
Okay, I think I have a box in the closet somewhere, and he's just gonna like open up the closet and just toss her a box. There you go.
Yeah,
You do get a peek at that closet as you do see there actually is quite a decent amount of stash of ammunition. You can probably assume for Crescent,
as well as a bunch of animation.
There are some weird figurines just kind of placed on the shelves.
What size shoes are y'all?
9.5, 10.
I have this sickening feeling like I'm going to need I don't want to ruin my docs.
Yeah, I would have some spare boots.
Something a little better.
I'm 9.5 to 10. What are you?
Definitely not that size, but maybe I don't know. Can I just rate any females' closets around here?
Really, the only females that preside here are either in Crescent's room or maybe Medico's uniform locker.
I'm gonna be honest, anybody who has anything, probably you don't want to put on.
Why is that?
Because if we're going to a place where we need to run or, God forbid, just throw another example, back down into the sewers.
Don't you put me down in the sewers. You guys have a weird, sick fascination with that.
Hey, if you don't want to be caught.
Oh.
I used to live in a semi-abandoned subway.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. That's disgusting. Oh.
Kidding? That was the best. No one found me down there unless I went topside. That being said, I don't think standard shoe wear is gonna do you any good.
Great. Now she's very noticeably worried.
And I would say that'd be a good segue for Crescent and Grayson. As you guys move your way through the highway, I'm assuming Crescent is moving as fast as potentially possible without getting too much attention drawn on herself with not only a rather nervous-looking passenger and a very unwieldy piece of heavy machinery of destruction upon her back. Probably still flying down the road as fast as reasonably possible.
Reasonably possible without attracting attention, yes.
Good. So I will say it does take you the full time to get you back onto the highway, maneuver your way through the central Seattle territory, and make it back to your familiar homestead of the SSC. You all pull in as Rudy kind of waves you all in, allowing the gate to rise open, and you drive on in, the hum of your motorcycle reverberating on the ground. Grayson, you feel a little wetness on your shoulder. As you can see, it's starting to drizzle a little bit. Seems that even in the late winter of Seattle, it just won't quite release its grip just yet. But you do pull around the backside. The garage opens. You guys make your way inside.
Yep.
Yes, definitely.
Make my way inside. I imagine I have a usual parking spot, so I'm just going to slide right in there, get off the bike.
You have usual parking spots. Anyone that drives to work here knows to give you and your bike a fairly wide berth for one reason or another. It's kind of on the opposite side of the still massacredly wrecked brand new truck.
Oh, right.
From across the way that is has been repeatedly damaged and used as a punching bag over the several months.
Yeah, gotcha. All right.
It's not missing a door.
Yeah, getting off the bike, and I'll follow Grayson, but I imagine we're making our way inside, trying to find Acer and Onyx.
Absolutely.
It's not long, as we'll say towards the end of this conversation, as Acer and Onyx are getting ready, so to speak, you break open through the secret entranceways, maneuvering around any type of obvious visualization. No one wants to see Crescent carrying a big old sniper rifle on her back in basically a building full of junkies, now do we?
Definitely got a proud grin about it, though.
I'll even say with that proud grin, as you come towards the lab, as you two are talking, there's now a sudden foot-through wall as the sudden door slams right open as Crescent steps inside with probably the biggest grin on her face you've seen in a while, and that immediately disturbs both of you.
All right, what's up, everybody? Ready to go?
As soon as you walk, you can see slung over her back a piece of bundling of filthy, filthy fabric that's a little bit taller than her.
Okay, firstly, that smile, that's weird. You don't do that. I'm kind of thinking brainwashing. Secondly, the door wasn't locked.
Yeah, but it's more fun that way.
What's
what
that?
are we doing?
Go on to the...
Grayson, you do make your way in as well.
Everybody?
I mean, I know we were helping with something, but I was never filled in on what that is.
Grayson, can you fill them in? I need to go get some... I need to change out this, because this is not going to do well. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to immediately just U-turn back and make my way to my room.
I'll see, Onyx, with your 4 dots and wits, you do see as some of the bundling kind of pulls away a little bit, just out of the fact that it is loosely wrapped. You see the glint of gunmetal chrome at the end of a choked up muzzle point of a very high-powered rifle. Your brain immediately starts making connections of what the heck is on her back as a very, very high-powered rifle.
What are we getting ourselves into that she has a giant-ass gun strapped to her back?
Well, the good news,
gun?
yes, it was a little gift from the other hound. It's the person we went and saw a little bit of information, and luckily, he didn't only have information, he brought us gifts, which was very nice of him.
Oh, cool.
Yes. You all remember wonderful Woneka?
Yeah.
Oh. That guy, yeah. Military man, right?
Used to be. He was very interesting. And he got Crescent a little gift. Seems he is not smitten, but they have a interesting battle buddy cohesion. Yeah. He did also give me a little something that's... I like having little remembrances here and there. Not much for keepsakes, but this one, yes.
What did he get you? Shotgun?
And I reach over and I pull out the bag and I just hold it in front of me.
Onyx, to your disgust, it is greasy and filthy. It is a sack of some contents.
Oh, well, I mean, if you don't like it, I mean, you could always tell Duncan that you didn't like it. He's right here.
You see Acer
As I
get
open up the
very
bag.
excited and just kind of walk up. No way, that's him.
Good, I'm hanging out with trophy keepers.
Again, not much of one, but considering the man blew off my arm and did quite a few horrible other things to my coterie mates, you'll have to, as I close the bag, with a little bit of just desserts. First, I need to get it out of this bag and into something more proper, because I don't know what is coming off of this, but it is Oh. Oh no. It's on the floor.
Walking away.
You get the sense, Grayson, in the ride back on the back of a motorcycle in very wet and misty and drizzly air, it's probably his ashes turning into coffee.
Oh. Hey, sir, do you happen to have maybe a bio bag that I can put this in?
Instantly brings out a Ziploc bag where you can just slide it in.
It may need to be dehydrated.
As I kind of close the bag and I roll it up just a bit and I very quickly put it into the bag.
Well, we found out a few interesting things on our end.
Really? Like what?
Well, first off, you know those vials of quote-unquote blood that Onyx procured for evidence?
I do.
Yeah, not blood.
Not blood.
Not blood.
That is his concoction. The way I do things and make things, yeah, that's his. And he calls it ash. Prime ingredient? Well, ashes of kindred that have been eliminated.
Tortured and eliminated.
Yeah.
Sees that demeanor of, as you say this, Grayson, where there was now the smirk explaining it is now gone to business serious. As he's gone from that to now a neutral expression as he looks to you two. How many does he make?
He made 3 vials. 2 of them are currently in the fridge.
No, I meant how many did it actually take?
We don't know, but it looks like a hell of a lot.
The schematics is in the book, but
Onyx Porcelain did notate roughly to your count about 30 victims that she was able to confirm before things got emotional.
Well, then I'll hold up my finger and just kind of pull up my notes, and I'll let you know. All right. Well, I did speak to Porcelain, and from the sound of it, it looks like she was forced to turn at least 30 that she could remember.
Wonderful.
And there's still his coterie mates are still out there, and who knows what they've got on them.
Wonderful. We have kin killers all over the city now too.
Oh, you know.
yeah, kin killers that for some reason are trying to make whatever the hell that serum does.
Which your buddy has on him, apparently for kicks.
Hey, sir.
I'll say at this brief point here, as it doesn't take that long. Crescent, what would you like to do in your room during this conversation?
I'm gonna put the gun in probably a safe spot, like near the back of the closet, and then I'll grab what is left because I know my other 2 are still broken and I haven't gotten replacements. So I'll just pull out my old gun, get some ammo for that.
How much ammunition are you bringing?
I would say what I can fit in my pocket, so that'd be probably 2 magazines worth.
That'd be about 2 reloads.
One in each pocket. Yeah, okay. Then I will probably do that. And now that she's within the confines of her room, going to the facade kind of fades a little bit, takes a reflective breath, and then grabs everything, gets loaded up, turns around, and goes back to meet with everybody else.
I'll say as you take that moment to breathe, you can't help but notice as you let go of the gun, it's ice cold. I mean, metal is cold. And the cold doesn't bother you, but it's colder than usual. It's bitterly cold in your hand, unless it bites against you a little bit. This feels like it's been sitting in a freezer. And that's what kind of jars you as a curious thought. That's very odd.
Just gonna take extra precautions to make sure that it's hidden and stashed properly. I'm also gonna grab 2 of my knives and stash those in each of my boots.
Easy enough. You stash both your knives, gun, some ammunition, and again make your way back towards the group just in time to hear the tail end of this conversation as you reintroduce the scene.
So are we killing him?
As Crescent just barges right back into the conversation, causing you guys all to jump a little bit. She is definitely quite what she wants to be.
Wait, what?
The Thin Blood dude? If he killed people?
Oh, we don't know yet. We haven't gotten to talk to him.
I mean, he killed people, and I sure would like to repay the favor.
Oh, good. We're in agreement. This is
Yes. Yes, however, we cannot just sanction killings. It has to be approved.
But we do know who can, so.
Exactly.
Are you saying we bring this up to the prince?
I'm saying I would say yes.
I mean, we promised Porcelain that we would do the best we could with it.
All I know is he seems like he has a lot of resources. I would at least like to try and take advantage of that before we dust him.
I mean, we don't necessarily need Prince's permission.
We don't necessarily, excuse me?
Hound. We have probable cause.
And you need to at least let him know. We can, and then you would know as well as I do that while, yes, you have the authority, I'd say me and Onyx cannot.
Crescent, you would know, at least as a hound, as Eleanor has explained it to you, while you can't just go on rampant killings, and you can't just slay anybody that gets in your way, it's kind of like you're a police officer. If there is a blatant breaking of the Masquerade, or you have proof or admission of it in front of you, you are obligated to enact the prince's will, and the prince has always declared any known Masquerade breach that has not been resolved or has led to destabilization of the capital in any kind of way is to be put to the final death, or at least presented for trial, if not possible. The only caveat is that if you do take matters into your hands, you will need to present what has been done, or it will be considered a dark secret. So, as long as you are comfortable with probable cause, you can take the responsibility of executionership if you have to, especially if he resists.
All I need is probable cause, and we have more than enough of that here. If we take him before the prince, we just have a trial.
I'll hold up my notebook, and I'm like, I have plenty of evidence for you.
Perfect. So we get some more information out of him, and if it's necessary, I can end that.
Then I would say, with your authority as the hound, that there we go.
But if we do need to get more information out of him, better to have some sort of connections taken out than just end it here and then have whatever consequences come of it. Because obviously he's got somebody he's working with as well.
Oh,
we don't even know if he's reporting to somebody higher.
I'm definitely saying get what we can out of him first. I'm just saying.
Oh, for sure.
Scum like him doesn't need to be around very long.
Good.
Does that suit you, Tremere?
I'm sorry, what did you just...
Just smiles, bats her eyelashes.
Apologies.
I'm gonna chuckle but try and hide it.
Apologies. I'm one for keeping the system fresh and well working. Breaks in it mean there are breaks in process, and when breaks in process happen, we lose.
You know me, baby. I'm all about process. I'm all about organization. But when someone has been proven guilty, I don't need any further evidence.
Oh no, please. If anything, I'm just happy to be able to provide the cell.
Now, Crescent, dear, what is it that we're doing for you?
I'm just trying to find someone, and Wyanaka gave me a lead. I need all the help I can get. So again, your choice. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I would just appreciate the help.
I have told you that if you are willing to help me with a certain task, I will help you first if you are willing.
I can
favor
help.
for a favor.
All right, I owe you a boon. You help me with this, I owe you. Again, I need all the help I can get.
Onyx, go ahead and give me an intelligence plus politics.
Okay. 3.
You would know in the exchanging of boons. You've never done it yourself, but luckily your unfortunate sire did leave you quite a detailed dossier on typical behavior, typical protocol, things to basically at least help you survive when dealing with other kindred. At least you got that much. She did at one point illustrate the passing of boons. You see, when you're dead, you live forever. Money, there's always more money. There's always more people. There's always more power. In Kindred world, there's nothing more precious between other kindred and currency than your word. It says you live forever, it's the only thing that's good. It's the only thing that's eternal is your word. So, boons can sometimes be traded from kindred to kindred, favors for favors. If you scratch my back, I scratch yours, but here's the caveat. If someone needs your help, depending on how severe they need your help, it's perfectly up to you to measure the quantity of a boon, categorized as a lesser, average, greater, or life. Life boon kind of example is they owe you forever, such as they saved your life, you got them out of a bad situation, you took a bullet for them in a way that would have possibly led to your final death, you took a huge risk, and now you've got them by the balls. A minor favor, and on the opposite spectrum, is I'll make sure to keep your haven tight for tonight, and then you never speak to me again. That would be kind of the severity of the sliding scale. So, as Crescent offers this and you shake her hand, you know, at least on the negotiation level, you can judge her desires versus what she will now owe you in return. And it does not need to be cashed in right now either.
I've gotten the money portion of it. I need the muscle portion. I will take you up on that. Coming for me, a big deal.
All right. Crescent, you now may add another flaw, a boon towards Onyx O'Connell.
Gotcha.
To be determined on severity and what she may call upon you at her own choosing.
So I need to find somebody. Somebody with my clan. And you're gonna hate this, Onyx, and I'm sorry, but we need to go to the sewers for it.
Ha! Called it!
And you just... she has a smile on, and she's like, got it. And I'm gonna turn around and make friends, Nora, you said. Get out of the house, Nora. You thought this was a great idea.
Oh.
Who's Nora?
Really? It's fine. We're good.
Wait. I got you. And he's gonna go over to his lab, open up a drawer, and pull out, you know those full-body plastic covers? The one they have in hospitals? Where it literally looks like a onesie?
A little low-grade biosuit.
Yeah,
it's a
chem
like
suits.
plastic onesie jumpsuit, basically. And I'm gonna pull it out and be like, ah!
It is so bad. It is so bad. It is the furthest thing from your style you could get. Onesie pajamas are cuter to you than this.
Oh. You have this, but you don't have extra boots.
I'm gonna look down at her boots. Alright,
I am straight up in, like, you know, Doc Martens, fishnets, ripped shorts, and, like, you know,
it will keep the grunginess off of you.
She just, again, grabs it, smiling, and muttering. This time she's a little quieter, but thank you. Yeah.
I'm gonna resist saying something, but eventually I can't let good boots be ruined. Alright, I might have something.
I will
if
perk
you
up
want
at
it.
that.
If you want it.
What do you have?
Just some old boots. I mean, they're clean, just, very...
I will take it. I will take it.
I might have some jeans too, but that's if you... I mean, we're kind of look the same size. I'm a little bit shorter, but it should be fine. I roll up my pants anyway.
As they leave, I'm just gonna turn to Grayson and just hold up the plastic thing and just be like, "You want in on this?
Do I what?
Ruin another suit.
Do you want in on this? I know your suits get ruined often, so just at least.
No, this time I'm going to actually go upstairs and grab some. I'm going to grab some outdoors like clothes. And by the way, we need to talk later about replacing my wardrobe I'm hitting the halfway point. I'm already nervous.
Your truck is also still damaged in the back of your mind, just so you remember.
We also need to talk about my truck at some point. But I'm not going to pressure you. Obviously, it is your money, so one step at a time.
Well, the truck kind of benefits all of us. As for your wardrobe, I know that I owe you at least one.
Mm-hmm. I do have to ask you something, Acer, off that topic. As Preston and Onyx have left, correct?
Yes, they're going to get changed and be more suitable for sewer crawling, so to speak. Sewer diving, maybe?
So I'm already facing Acer, but I lean a little closer. How effective are the vials? Truthfully.
He's going to wait a couple seconds and look at the secret door.
It's closed.
He's going to hold up a finger, and anything in electronic, he's just going to unplug. He's already replaced the system, but he's paranoid at this point.
At this point, with Hurricane alerts, you don't know how long it's going to take him to bust through the system, too. He's, if not smarter than you, it might just be a matter of time.
Yeah, so just...
If I see him... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just out of habit of paranoia, he's going to start just unplugging everything electronical that can receive or give a signal.
So I see him walk around the room unplugging things. I take out my phone and I take out the battery.
And then he's going to turn to Grace and be like, truthfully, I have no clue. I took a look at that serum what he's created. It is mind-boggling how he even had the ability to find out what to put in those vials. I don't know how long he's been working on this, but there are a couple notes on there that apparently, if injected into him or I assume any thin blood, no clue what it would do to a full-blown kindred, could potentially give them, what did you say, the fortitude? Strength of...
It wasn't very clear, as he had not gotten a chance to officially test this based on his notes, but he theorized that it could potentially pass on some of that true vampiric power, fortitude, or essence into a thin blood, though the extent of that benefit, you are not sure. It seems potent, though, and he's very confident about it.
So I will relay that to him. At the same time, I will open up my drawer and, without really taking out the book, flip through a couple pages and just kind of tear a page out and then just close it. Being careful not to take it out or show it. And then he just brings over the paper and goes, This is the very first injection I ever made. It is the thing that started literally my entire journey of leaving my house, coming here, and trying to find some way to cure my kindredness. This right here is also the thing that made me go crazy, attack my family, and gave me my first real resistance as a kindred. It's why I'm not as fragile as some of the others. That serum looks nothing like this. It is far more complicated. I have no clue what it will do to me or anyone else who injects it.
Do you put both the notes side by side from your current project, Acer?
Yeah.
As you kind of put that down, Grayson, you have a little bit into intelligence. You understand a little bit of chemistry. Just enough to kind of run your cultism, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You both notice, as he kind of puts it down in this explanation, the alchemical formulas, the chemistry side of things are similar. There are a few key ingredients that were changed, a few chemistry measurements that are altered. Acer, one would even kind of, as you kind of glance at it, kind of hits on you that this serum would not have the same type of permanency of whatever you did, but it seems to be rooted in the same kind of logic. But it is simpler more refined. At least you get the sense that it's meant to be temporary, at least long-lasting, but temporary.
See what I'm saying here? I mean, granted, similarities, but
Same,
it's just weird.
Same treatment, less materials, and it lasts longer. Yes, I could. This not only would it be marketable, it's. I don't like to use the word revolutionary, so I will not. But
actually, that's pretty much the word that could be going down right here. Look, I'm not entirely sure what's happening, but just due to what I see here, there's a very real chance that either someone wants to get in on this whole thin blood thing and maybe weaponize them, or it wouldn't be that hard to start selling these things off for whatever you called it, boons. Have an entire half-kindred society reliant on these things in order to survive. That could cause an influx of power.
Well, I mean, think about it. The thin blood, even temporarily being, as strong or even stronger than normal kindred, and whenever they want.
Yeah, that's not the only thing. There are other stuff in there that he's been trying to crack, and I may or may not have cracked myself by accident. Specifically, one that has to do with the sun. Seems like he's trying to find a formula for it as well, among other things.
I think you and I both have the feeling that there's no way he's working alone. He couldn't have figured this out by himself.
That's what I'm saying. Right now he's working with Hurricane. I'm not sure how much Hurricane has over him, or maybe how much he's promised him. I don't know. Never got to talk to the guy. What I do know is Hurricane is dangerous. And if he made this serum, there's a good chance Hurricane already knows about it. Whether he understands it or not, I don't know. But unfortunately, if you give a list to someone of what to do, kind of like making a cake, you don't have to be a chef in order to follow the directions. That's my word.
Hey, sir, I'm going to offer you a deal. Take it or leave it. But in light of something like this, I would at least ask that you hear me out.
Well, I mean, you've helped me out in tough situations before. I don't see why not, as he kind of like puts the papers together and kind of puts them away before the other two come back.
So, Acer, some of the things I recognize on that sheet, there's some translation, but I think I may be able to at least inquire more and be able to decipher with you. So, my deal is simply this. I'll and I will help you decipher this book any way I can. In return, the tome that I found in the catacombs, I keep. This is not just for a grasp of power, but this may get me deeper into my chantry. And if I get deeper into my chantry, I may be able to find out more. Have more access to resources that we need. That's my offer.
You see him thinking like really hard about this before he turns to you and it's like, on one condition.
We've come this far.
I will accept those terms. However, someone has to be there with you to monitor you. I'm not saying that thing is the Necronomicon, but as a nerd, I know a few legends, and those two books are pretty similar. They're dark as fuck. So long as someone is there to rein you in. Could be anyone. It doesn't have to be me. It could be Crescent or Danica, anyone you trust. So long as one person is there to rein you in, I'm fine. I'm all good with trying to use a little bit of dark to help out the light. I mean, even the moon takes turns to shine with the sun. But there's limits.
Okay. Then when I want to look at the book, I'll ask you.
Okay.
It's only fair.
All right, fine, deal.
It's not that I don't trust Crescent or our new member, but I'm not making a deal with them now, am I?
Fine. We both make a pact that no matter what either of us do, or how far we go, we make sure no one gets hurt because of it. Especially everyone here. Danica, Crescent, Onyx, Medico, especially. Just no one.
I put my hand on his shoulder like, the line in the sand is so clearly marked, even a blind person can see it. I will make sure that it does not affect us. No innocence. As long as I can help it, as long as it is within my power, I'll make it so.
Okay, and I just kind of pat his back. All right, you got a deal.
Deal.
It hasn't been long enough that Crescent and Onyx begin to make their way back after a system being changed, and both Acer and Grayson, you can hear their footsteps coming through the tunnels and nearby walls not too far away.
Just lean into Acer, put it away.
Yeah. And he kind of locks his drawer.
And as come back in, put my phone back in, put the battery back into my phone, and I stashed away as I pull up my walkie-talkie and I turn to the special channel for Rudy.
Okay.
And it's just to give him a quick update and him update me if there's anything special, and to let him know that my special friend may be coming by tonight, and if he is, please show him to my office.
You hear Rudy on the road. Oh, don't worry about it, G. I got you.
Much appreciated.
Actually, that gives me an idea. So, knowing that we're going to go to the sewers as Onyx and Crescent come back in, I'm going to be like, all right, first, flashlight, going to need that again. Secondly, 2 walkie-talkies. We'll go in pairs, just in case we get separated.
That is an excellent idea. Thank you, Acer. Where are the flashlights at? I'll grab them.
I'll say, ladies, you definitely have made your way back in the room. Luckily, Onyx, Crescent did have a pair of old combat boots. They're not the greatest shape, but they are clean. And I'll say, since you guys have definitely made your way back, yeah. Boys seem to be in the midst of talking about gathering more supplies. Acer's pulling out walkie-talkies as Grayson seems to be scrounging around in the drawers for he pulls out a flashlight.
There we go. I give it a few clicks, like, okay, got batteries, we're good.
So is everybody good? Because Wayoneka's probably ready. I don't know. I don't have a phone, so...
Wayoneka? He's coming with us?
Oh, yeah, he's kind of a guide.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully that makes this a little bit more...
I think he said he was bringing somebody else. Wait, Storyteller, was he bringing more people? I forgot.
No, he was saying he had to stop by a friend to bring back a little heat, so to speak. He wanted to go into there with protection because of what he had been hearing rumors about made him uncomfortable.
Okay. That being said, everybody got some sort of protection, ammunition. I point to Grayson blood sorcery.
I will say for Storyteller, I say if when we're about to leave, I can sidetrack to my office and grab my brass knuckles and just change over to more of like a rugged pair of pants and jacket.
Easy enough.
Yeah, just on the way out.
Spare the suit.
Yes. Spare the suit, please.
Pause a second, and he's going to go over to one of the phones hooked into the wall and just type in Medico's number.
It picks up on the first ring. Yes, Acer, yes. Where is
Wow,
she? Did she do
okay,
something stupid?
Quick.
I
No,
got about half of what I need. Just tell her to calm the hell down and I'll see what I can do.
She's fine. We got a location. We got a tour guide. I just wanted to let you know that you don't need to worry. We're going in with her.
Deep sigh. So she doesn't need me now.
She is very eager.
Would you tell her I'm sorry, please?
And she says that she is very sorry.
Who is this?
That's the person I told you about. My important person.
All right. Just keep an eye on her. Don't let her do something too reckless. And Acer, if she's going after that Enzo guy, keep an eye on him. He's not a good guy, okay? He says it's in a much lower voice, the way Crescent may not hear her.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
You better. I don't trust him. I'm sure what she's told you, it's not my liberty to say, but just keep an eye on him. He's sly.
If I'm being honest, from the little interaction I have from him and from the story Crescent has told us, I don't care for him. I don't trust him. I'll do my best to make sure that nothing hurts her.
I'll be in your lab later. I'll try to get the rest of the stuff I need just in case something bad happens.
Okay, I'll leave,
Just do me a favor. Don't let them see it. Just leave a little bit of your blood behind. If you guys don't come back, I'll be able to find you guys. Just give me that insurance.
Oh, God, you and I think alike. I was just about to tell you that I'll leave a syringe of it in the fridge.
Perfect. Keep an eye on her.
Done deal.
And then she hangs up.
And he'll hang up as well. I need a syringe. And then he goes back into his lab.
I'm just watching him, kind of glaring. I know there's something you guys said. I don't hear it, but I know it.
As he passes you, you can tell he is nervous, and he is refusing to look in your direction in any way, shape, or form.
Onyx, you definitely have heard this entire length of this conversation. Heightened senses is just always working, and your ears are always listening.
I'm gonna just lean over to her. I'm like, are we looking after someone who's a bit of a shady character or something?
What do you mean? Did you hear? What did they say?
Made it sound like whoever we're going after is not someone to be messed with.
Yeah.
Do I need another round of bullets?
We shouldn't.
Put up my hands. You might want to tell the Thin Blood that.
I'm gonna look directly at Acer.
As he's drawing a small dose of blood.
Predator-ness is going straight at him.
He is looking away. He can feel the daggers being pressed into his back from the stairs, but he's just taking a syringe, taking a little blood, labeling it Acer's blood, puts it in the fridge, takes some more labels, and put experiment, do not touch, and puts it on the other 2 vials in the fridge.
Hey Acer, you want all of the vials of our bloods?
No,
or are you just gonna tell me what's going on?
No, just mine. Might need this for later.
For what?
Fridge. Oh, you know.
I mean, I don't judge shortly, but it sounds like he's not expecting us to all come out of this unscathed from whoever we're looking at.
No. I think we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be good. Shall we go?
Your voice goes up like 5 octaves when you're lying, right?
The tension in this room, Grayson, is getting uncomfortable for you.
It's probably starting to annoy him at this point.
Grayson?
I'm a Thin Blood.
I need you to go ahead.
I literally take my blood out.
I need you to go ahead and roll your unspent willpower and have your mana here rounded down to resist frenzy.
Onyx is quickly finding something on the wall that is interesting and is kind of walking away.
Okay, so
the order in this room has completely disintegrated.
Yep. So unspent willpower?
Unspent willpower and half your humanity rounded down.
Okay, so spent, that's... Okay. Alright. Haven't had to do this in a while.
What happens when your coterie starts tearing at each other in front of you?
They are... Okay, 4 successes.
You are white-knuckling, and you feel your fangs itch, and you crack your neck a little bit. The anger is simmering underneath you as this room begins to divulge into chaos as you are all wasting time. But you manage to keep yourself in control, but you are getting angry as this is devolving quickly.
Fellow kindred, I would say it's a lovely time for us to continue on our journey. Would you all not agree? And I say this very loudly.
I agree with that.
Excellent. After all of you. I just motion at the doorway.
You will step around Crescent very carefully and just leave.
I'm gonna grab him by his collar before he does.
You are fast enough with rapid reflexes.
I'm just gonna pull him in really quick and be like, you do anything that puts her in danger, I will end you where you stand. And then let go. And then I'll continue to walk out to the garage.
I'm gonna mutter to myself or to the air next to me and just kind of whisper, God, maybe you're right. Maybe I should just stay in the apartment. Maybe I need to...
You hear Declan in the back of your mind whisper very gently a voice you haven't heard in a decent amount of time. Oh, baby doll, what have you gotten yourself into this time?
Look, I'm trying to get out. It's been a while. People are hard. Things are hard. You sure I can't just stay locked up in the apartment?
No. You honor your word. You honor your word.
She'll walk out, but she's muttering to herself the entire time.
So, while tensions begin to ride high, what car are you guys going to take? You do have Onyx's car, or you guys can take a company van together. Or separate.
Will they all fit in my car? I don't think they will.
How many seats you got?
Staring at Grayson, I guess, now.
Probably.
I guess.
I don't think I owe Onyx money.
Yeah.
Company van.
Alright, so you all take the company van and hit the road. It's not long before you all make your way to where Wawaneka's destination was requested. Maneuvering through the city, dealing with the traffic, as always. There's again, that tension kind of rides in the air all the way through as that drizzle gets heavier and lighter and heavier and lighter back and forth, as if the city itself is fighting against winter's late weakening grip. You all pull up into the area, parking some ways away, within walking distance, maybe a few blocks. People move in groups at this evening hour around the marketplace, even though the market itself is closed. The surrounding city never sleeps, though. The bright red neon light refracting along the now wet and soggy streets as these scattered groups of young and thriving people and friends rendezvous at evening gatherings and locations, and you start to see the city is starting to return to a semblance of normalcy. People don't seem to be as nervous as they were a couple weeks ago. Things have calmed down as the overall obvious crime seems to have settled. And things return to a normal, chaotic state the city typically tends to be in. Getting out of the car, your shoes hitting against the wet cobblestones, and you begin to make your way towards the gum wall, a very iconic Seattle point where young adults pass by and leave wads of chewing gum on the wall that just cake and build up over time. There's a lot of speculation behind this landmark. Some people are repulsed by it, others find it fascinating. But no matter how many times the wall is scraped, it's not long before it's covered once again. You all make your way through the alleyways, Onyx sticking as far away from it as possible, as even with your heightened senses, you can smell the stale gum. It is revolting to you in every sense of the word. But as you begin your way through, several couples of people pass by, walking down the same path, some even leave that big piece as you come by, where you see two figures standing on the side of the alleyway, out of the thoroughfare. Hey, Crescent, you get that unmistakable voice. Don't worry about it, big man. Just take care of yourself, Rip, and thanks for bringing the heat. I appreciate the short notice. Oh, no, man. I owe you big for what you did out there, and keep an eye on me. No. The rich share the spoils. You got my back, I got yours, just as always. Hoorah. As they seem to give themselves a quick hug, and you hear a hard slap as two hands go over backs. As Onyx, you can hear, very just briefly, what appears to be a shuffling of cloth and a slight scraping of metal along nail. You kind of heard this tactic before, a covert swap, so to speak.
I'll try and sneak up on him a little bit. Not to an extreme extent, but just like...
Give me a dex plus stealth.
Sneaking up on a Nos, this is a great idea. That's why I said I'm not, like, serious about it. It's just, like, a playful thing.
I understand, but we'll see what happens and see if you're able to be successful.
Oh, it's playful?
You said stealth?
Minus 2 die.
Yes, dexterity plus stealth. Technically, you are against Kindred, so...
Yeah, I was about to say I get my specialty with this
You
one.
do.
Dexterity. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 successes.
5 successes. As you all begin to walk down the alleyway, Crescent does take a very quick, small pit out before shouting very abruptly, "Wow, Nick!" He spins, as you can see, just real quick, there is a pistol right underneath your chin, Crescent, as he has put an iron grip right on your shoulder. And as soon as your eyes lock, like, God! He spins away as he sees this, almost make a startled jump backwards. Damn
I'm
it.
just gonna grin.
Puts a finger up. But get the fuck out. Sure, man? You're not being jumped? No. These asses. These fucks are. So, you see this other homeless man, thick, grayish, curly beard, comes down the front of it. He's covered up, bundled up to the gills, hood over his face with an old, faded American flag bandana that comes across his face. He just stares at all of you, just not in a good way, before he kind of just slowly turns and leaves. I could just kind of wait for him to pass and shakes his head. Give me a break, Crescent. Come on, man.
Just having a little fun. You in an important meeting or something?
No. It's just Okay, I'm a little on edge being on this side of the city, okay?
Why?
Well, one, we're going down to the sewers, and I already told you I'm not too much of a fan going down there right now, so that's kind of besides the point, but there's certain areas of the city that are not necessarily comprende right now, okay? I'm fine, it kind of caught me in a moment when, trading handguns in an alley. You know what I mean? When people just happen to see it. That always happens. It's like, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. First off, hi. He kind of flicks his thumbs at you for a moment, Onyx. The condo lady. Yeah, I heard about you. I get to finally see your face in person. He thrusts a hand out to you with a big smile. This man, now that he kind of steps a bit closer, you can see him. You're able to attune to the dark very quickly. He is a garish man. At one point, he could have been attractive, but now, as like most Nosferatu, he is extremely disfigured. Large insets into his face that give him almost this bulldog look, even slight, deep porous specklings and strange beard hairs to kind of come out across his face, with 2 massive underbiting fangs that come up over like his bulldog underbites, and his nasty long wide Cheshire smile as he kind of flashes you these gangrel yellow teeth and these sharp red eyes at you. He throws a hand out. You can see his hand is dirty and greasy, but he shows a very polite smile. It's like, nice to finally see you in person.
Onyx has issue with Nos, so she'll give a very tight smile, won't say anything, and she'll kind of do almost like a Princess Diana sort of thing, where she just kind of puts her hand out, it kind of just gives it the barest of grips and pulling away.
Oh no.
He is able to just barely touch it. He seems to lean in to respect the politeness for you tear it away, and he pulls back a little bit. I get it. Cool. It's okay. As he quickly changes the subject. Primogeny, sir. And he does a very long, flourish bow, coming, putting one foot behind the other, putting both taloned hands up to his head very low in this very dramatic fashion, before looking back up at you with this coy smile. How's life on the top side, Midblood?
Appreciated, but just Acer is perfectly fine. And
he smacks you across the face, and you see stars He slowly kind of curls his fingers in, smiling, tilting his head. That's for Duncan.
My hand is kind of just hovering over my weapon, but I haven't moved. I'm just waiting.
Yep. Okay. I deserve that.
He straightens back up and readjusts his coat. There. Got that out of my system. Now I feel better. Now I can actually work with all of you. Listen, I got an entryway around the corner. This should get us down into the sewers. Now, there's a couple rules. You don't know what's down there. Like I said, you have to be real careful.
Something.
There could be. I don't know. A lot of my kind, a lot of my friends, we've been avoiding the sewers as best we can. All we know is that it doesn't feel as safe as it used to be to move around. But here's the thing. These sewers, they go out the whole way of the city. They go underneath, there's tunnels underneath the ocean. They go everywhere. If you don't know what you're doing, you get separated. You get lost. We ain't going to be able to find you. So the rule is, you fall behind, you stay behind. And good luck to you, because I ain't going to stick my neck out to find all of you. My job? I'm trying to prevent that from happening. But I need a little bit of self-sustainability here to make sure that you guys don't go wandering off like little ducklings, okay?
Okay.
Yep. Got it.
Second thing, just be careful. Some of these sewers are pretty old. If you panic, you take off, it is dark as dark. I can see. Kind of tilts over to you, Onyx, a little bit, kind of raises an eyebrow, gives you a bit of up down. She's fine. The rest of you, I hope you guys brought lights.
Yep, seeing them right now.
Good! I'm all warmed up then. So, any questions, thoughts, or concerns before we dive into the sleuth, so they say?
No, let's do it.
Let's go.
Hey, storyteller, would I have something of Enzo's?
Would you keep any boyfriend mementos from that relationship?
The only thing I can think of is that note that was on the mirror. That's the only thing I can think of. Okay. Or something that he might have gifted me before Christmas.
I'll say Enzo's taste in jewelry was actually pretty refined. Very dainty, small little choker necklace with a small little diamond star inlaid onto it. Very, very feminine.
Okay. Alright. So, I'll kind of take that out. This might help, and I'll hand it over to Onyx. Just if it might help.
Thank you. I'll take it, whether it helps or not.
If it helps, it helps. If not, give it back.
If we're by the gum wall still, I'm gonna walk down that open path that's right by it, over what used to be Highway 99, and take a right and tuck in the alcove there. There is a little seating area, dark. I'm sure it's probably empty, and I'm gonna sit down on the benches that I know that are there. As
she kind of just walks off at her own imperative body and just throws both hands up. The fuck am I here for? She seems to be the greatest fucking guy in the whole world. God fucking damn it.
I'm just gonna turn back to. I do need you. Just wait a second, please.
Fine. Stop. No more eyes.
All right.
Stop with the fucking eyes. He just sits very, very comfortably close to you, Grace, just crossing his arms, kind of leans on you a little bit.
We do need you, just by the way.
Yeah.
I will daintily perch with myself on a bench as far away from Wowneck as I can without trying to give that away. And I will try and see what I can see.
Are you going to try to use premonition?
Oh,
yes.
No. All right,
no.
Go ahead and give me a rouse check.
Success.
Success. You do not get hungrier. Go ahead and roll your resolve plus aspects, and as you kind of clutch the necklace, I'll say, as this is using kind of a bit of a focal point, go ahead and add...
Isn't it usually with plus aspects? That's what you've done before.
Yeah, it's resolve plus aspects, but because you're holding the necklace, it's giving you a little extra boost.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was always with plus aspects. But...
No, it's resolve plus aspects.
Whoops, then I made a boo-boo earlier.
It's all good. Resolve plus aspects, and then go ahead and add a +2 as you kind of clutch onto this necklace. A possession, you got to help focus your thoughts. Don't forget to add your hunger die.
Yep. A lot. Okay.
Lots of dice. Lots of crazy Malkavian psychic bullcrap.
It's not bullcrap. It's great. 6.
6 successes.
Oh God.
You kind of lean against the wall, get yourself very comfortable. You hear the sounds of cars and people laughing. You hear it sounds like a couple not too far away. You hear them laughing and joking. And as the rain kind of comes down, you kind of feel yourself kind of slip into this almost relaxed state. All of a sudden, you're immediately rear back. Your eyes roll backwards as those flashes come very quickly, very intensely, and very rapidly. You see a long history attached to this necklace. You can see Crescent in almost this slow motion, slightly moving photograph on top of an old DJ booth, probably from the 90s, as lights are blaring. She has headphones up to her ear, and she is smiling wide. Looks like she's having the time of her life. There is a figure of a man standing, watching her from his perspective. It flashes a couple images forward of bright lights before you see Crescent being held by a man. Very angular jaw, strong chin, dark hair, and deep violet eyes, and they are in a very, very close embrace as that necklace is around her neck. A few more images flash by as you can see various forms of intimacy that come between her. Dates, shows, her in just different very private moments with this individual, as it gets you very, very obvious how close she was to this individual. You can see this individual looming and standing over her body that is now gone extremely pale. You can see his brow furrowed and stern, staring down as another seems to be biting into her neck. A woman of great elegance and beauty, recognizes Eleonora, the sheriff. As you witness briefly her embrace, a flash of it, you can feel stress immediately. You can't help but your fists kind of tightened as you see that this man, he is white knuckling at the same time. Flash forwards again. This man watches Crescent as Eleonora, her sire, seems to be in the midst of training her, as Crescent seems to be in a blood rage. She is tearing the throat out of a man bound to a chair, his arterial spray hitting the wall and lining her face. As you can see, her eyes have shadowed in black as vampiric talons erupt from her hands. Flashes again as these two seem to now be in stark staring at each other, Enzo giving her a cocky smile, while Crescent just staring at him with hate. They seem to be just locked into this moment of just complete and utter combat, essentially, mentally and emotionally, standing off against each other. Flashes again of light go through your mind as you see Enzo leaving the cathedral behind him. Another flash again. You see cold breath. You feel terror. Another image flashes as you hear, because you don't see anything now, you see just a black photo. It doesn't have any picture, but you hear the sounds of screeches and screams that kind of just reverberate through your mind as if the souls of the damned themselves are crawling out of hell. You hear the sound of breaking stone, the rushing of water. You feel it's like you're going to drown at any moment. You feel pain in your shoulder. It feels like your bones have something cracked and separated from its body. You feel like you've been pummeled, dragged, kicking and screaming. Your nails suddenly hurt. You feel like they're bleeding as it feels like you're being dragged against stone, concrete, cold and unforgiving in the dark. You can smell decay. You can smell that sewage. You feel panic as all these photos keep flashing and flashing and flashing, but they're all just dark images. That fear just never leaving you. As you continue further, you feel weightless suddenly as you feel like you're dropping, your stomach plummeting into your chest, and you feel like you're falling from maybe a far height. You can hear a man scream in agony and panic. There's a brief silence. Finally, another image flashes as you can see that you're almost like you're sitting down, bathed in dark red light, looking down at your feet. You feel starving, pain. You feel empty. And then you feel another image pull away as you see what appears to be a large electrical hub, or maybe a maintenance shaft of some kind. You're not sure, but you can see dark and grayed stony skin of an ankle and legs peeking just barely around the structure, hiding and vulnerable. You feel terrified. You feel vulnerable. So very vulnerable. And then you feel nothing. You just are suddenly aware of how alone you are for a moment before you snap right back into it and just breathe, gasping out of reaction as, Cressy, you look at her. Over the course of these few seconds, all rapidly playing back and forth, you can see her face go from enthusiastic and smiling wide as if she's watching a love story before it just kind of crashes into pure anger and rage, then fear, then agony, and all these emotions go flashing across Onyx's faces in just rapid fire motion before her face is just neutral and slack-jawed before she comes back to herself, just gripping against the wall tightly.
Sorry. Just give me a second, Haley. I mean...
What?
Sorry, Crescent, sorry.
Should have guessed that.
Yeah. God. I imagine my eyes are bloodshot at this point.
They are extremely red. That vision hit you like a ton of bricks. You're getting better at this, but every single time you do it, it's just like getting hit with a semi in the head. You feel like your head is splitting, the amount of input that just flooded into you.
I just grab my notebook at that point. I'm probably just shaking like a leaf, and I just start writing everything down.
I'm watching very intently. I'm like scared right now.
And so the only actual image I saw of anything that, I mean, besides darkness, was just an electrical maintenance shaft.
It looks like the best way you can describe it is it looks like a room where there's probably some kind of equipment, maybe a lot of machinery that would probably be underground in some kind of maintenance type section of something. You know those very large metal power boxes you'd see outside of neighborhoods that a lot of teenagers would sit on? Something like that as well seems to be where Enzo seems to be hiding behind, bathed in a red maintenance light. There's a long section of darkness as it seems he was running blind through these tunnels.
Okay. After I write everything down in shorthand, because I don't want someone reading over my shoulder. No offense.
Sorry.
It's all, you can look at it, but what you're seeing written in the notebook is not something you're going to understand.
This has to do with her, so yeah, she's very curious and is trying to impatiently, but trying to be patient, just okay, I need to give her space, but I want to know what's going on.
Okay, and after I finish, I'm just gonna almost rub my temples, and I'm just gonna look up at her.
The main takeaways that you seem to have taken from this is whoever this individual was, you remember named Enzo. In this vision, he was in a lot of pain, a lot of fear. Whatever came after him hard and fast and did some damage to him. Seems he got away. He's not in a good state. Some key notes, definitely the sewers. It smells like a sewer. You know that smell anywhere.
Yep.
Falling, rushing water. And then he's hiding somewhere. Doesn't seem he's moved. You're not sure how old that vision is. You're not sure how long it was until he met that moment.
And then there was a moment where he started feeling nothing, right?
That nothingness is something that you could probably relate to, that most kindred kind of instinctually relate to. It's very likely he's torpid, whether it be from injury or hunger. You're not sure.
Yeah, okay. That's what I figured. I'm just going to look up at her and sigh real quick, and I'll hand her back the necklace.
That's
okay. So, I just gotta ask, you still like this guy after all the shit that I just saw? I just need an honest answer.
I just need to know.
Well, Your friend Acer might be happy. Or your other friend, since they don't seem to like him. But,
What?
yeah, he's
What's
in a
wrong?
bad spot.
Where? What?
I'll kind of look over at Wauneka, and I'm like loath to have to ask him something. But excuse me.
He seems to kind of turn his head away from you for a moment, just kind of like staring at the sky suddenly.
Do you know where we might find a huge maintenance shaft or electrical area?
So he kind of sticks his fingers and he kind of scratches out and flicks a bit of wax off to the side. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you there, sweetheart. Did you need something from me?
Well, forgive me, Wauneka?
Yeah, you can call me Wow if you need to.
Gotcha. And trust me, it has nothing to do with you as a person. I have a bit of a bad history with some Nos, and I am working on it. But
okay, well, at least you apologize for it. Fine. He kind of cracks both his knuckles, leans in, puts a fist underneath his chin. It's kind of a little flourishy, but in a weird way, it's kind of earnest. Sorry. So, now I'm listening.
Yeah. Power boxes. Electrical. Large maintenance area.
Kind of wags a finger for a moment. That would be a pump. Like I said, these sewers go everywhere. The thing about it is that what also goes down to these sewers? Rainwater. This place is raining and misting all the time. The city's got to be able to pump this shit out, otherwise it would flood the damn city. There are sections of sewer that are kind of like big toilet bowls, so to speak. It all floods down to the same place, goes round and round and round, and then shits out the back end of Seattle into the bay. There's usually pump equipment, rooms that keep the water moving, so to speak, so nothing gets clogged up in the pipelines. Oh, but if there are friends somewhere around there that could be dangerous depending on which way he took. I actually can't see.
Well, it looks like you're right. He probably couldn't see, but it also looks like something else could, and it found him.
It's not good. Okay. There's two ways you're going to find a fishbowl, I like to call it. You can go around the safe way and find one of these maintenance tunnels. There are quite a few of them. They kind of intersect all over the place. We're kind of have to be lucky and find the right one. Let me think here. He points over to you, redhead, Crescent. How far is your sheriff's haven from here? How far would that be from here?
Storyteller, how far would that be from Pike's Place? I imagine it's not far because I think her church was in Queen Anne's.
Yeah, it's not far.
It's not terribly far.
Yeah, it's not far at all.
I'll just say not far at all.
That seems like what? Kind of draw a finger in the air. He kind of spins around for a bit, like he's kind of really thinking. Okay, so I might know a place. I might. It's kind of a needle in a haystack, but if his place would be Queen Anne's, and I was suddenly in trouble, and I didn't want to get noticed, but I was also in a bad spot, I wouldn't be able to go very far. Okay, I got an idea. I might know the direction. It's a long shot, but we'll try. Let's go! As he just begins marching off.
I'm gonna give Crescent a kind of a wide berth. I'm gonna start to back up.
I was actually going to try and kind of get closer to her, hopefully without hearing. So this is going to be interesting.
So I'll say this. Grayson and Acer, are you doing anything before you just going to follow Wauneka?
Depends. Am I still seeing spots?
Oh, that's cleared up. Your head hurts, but it's cleared up.
Okay, then yeah. I'm just going to... I guess I'll follow, and since I can't really tell Crescent what I'm doing, I'm not going to interfere in that little segment. I will just follow Wauneka.
Okay. As well as you, Grayson?
Did I see her? Are they acting strange enough for me to notice?
Give me a wits plus insight. As you two, are you trying to kind of keep your cool, or is this kind of obvious?
Onyx is visibly shook and is trying to avoid Crescent, so I don't think it would take that much.
Okay.
I'm focused kind of on her, but I'm also keeping very close focus on Ryaneka because I still want to go to where we need to go, but I also kind of want to talk to her in private-ish.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes. With that, you can definitely see that there's suddenly, where there was a very close companionship that was starting to brew between Onyx and Crescent, there's now suddenly tension. Crescent kind of steps closer as Onyx just kind of instinctually just backs away from her, trying to keep this certain level of distance between them. It's like all of a sudden an elephant is just dropped into the middle of the room.
Grayson is just walking with the group, right? You're just looking over in this direction?
I would say yes, he is paying attention to you two, especially because...
If I catch your eye, Onyx is going to see that as like a moment of relief, like, oh God, and I'm going to go over and I'm going to make a large scene of like grabbing your arm, like, and I'm just going to walk with you and be like, so, you guys go around in the sewage often?
No, as a matter of fact, I try to avoid it. I abhor the sewers.
Crescent, as Onyx pulls away from you very quickly and sees a moment of escape, and she takes it hard and quick. Kind of leaves you lagging the pack a little bit.
I'm going to put my hands in my pocket and I'm going to purposely march ahead. Absolutely, kind of steaming, and go right behind Ryaneka.
All right. After seeing that,
I'm watching her the whole way.
No, pissed.
I lean down to Onyx and like, okay. Now I've seen that one before. What did you see? What did you tell her?
I told her where to find him, but I don't want to tell her what I saw.
Okay, I'm glad that I suppose that we know where he is to make this night easier, but what don't you want to tell her?
I'm getting the sense she's pretty close to this asshole.
I'm not quite sure. I mean, I know that, they were both sired by the same kindred, but it more seemed like an annoying, withstanding a brother and sister relationship as far as I saw.
Onyx won't say more on that. You'll see that I'm taking that in and kind of pursing my lips and like I'm definitely withholding something from you as well. But then I'm gonna say, I'm tired of being the person that brings bad news.
Well, I always hate being the person on the sidelines, but sometimes the best, most advantageous view is from the sides. But I don't think I can help if I don't know everything.
Look, I saw a lot, and by the way, I know I'm talking loud, but I'm very hushed to Grayson.
I can definitely assume.
Yes. I would definitely. I would say the same for me too. I'm leaned a little bit closer to her, but more than so that I can whisper to her.
Look, I'm not one to tell someone else's story, so I won't mention the details. But I don't think we're gonna find this person in one piece. And I don't know if that's a problem or not.
For Crescent, possibly, but maybe cold to say this, but it is no difference to me.
No, that's fine. But can you understand why I would rather keep it to myself and hopefully let myself be wrong than dash your hopes before we've even started?
It's a kindness I don't usually expect from kindred, or in general in our world. So, as you have your arm wrapped around mine, I reach over with my other hand and give you a few very gentle pats on your wrist.
Thank you. People, I don't see a lot of people or kindred, but when people come to me, it's usually because I have bad news for them. And clients, it's fine, but as I'm starting to get to know you guys, I don't particularly want every interaction that I give you to be bad.
I think it's a matter of perspective then, so far. As far as I can tell, you have been nothing but absolute... Sounds a bit disconnected to say, but not ace in the hole. You've been extremely helpful and, well, a little rough. I expect that from us. I am quite happy that you decided to stick around.
Thank you. We'll see how long that lasts before I mess it up.
Give me a little bit of credit. I've kept them together for this long.
Well, you are good with addiction cases, but I might be your first nut job.
I guess I'll have to order the newest updated copy of Psychology. I don't know if they make it in Kindred, but...
At this point, as you guys have been walking, taking back alley turns, Acer and Crescent, as you guys are kind of more towards the fort of the pack at this moment, Onyx and Grayson kind of lagging behind a little bit. Both of you notice something interesting. Crescent, you a little less, but you can't help but catch it every now and then as, wow, Mecca, he is smiling as his normal strange behavior as he carries, but every now and then he constantly looks over his shoulders towards the rooftops. His eyes are constantly scanning back and forth. He kind of stops for a moment, kind of peeks out from corner to corner before you guys kind of like hustle to the next alleyway. He's not taking any thorough streets. He doesn't take any obvious walkabouts. He only takes alleyways. He only takes as dark in corners as he can take. And he's moving at a very brisk pace. He seems very nervous whenever he seems that you guys are kind of, even for a moment, out in a potential opening. This goes on for maybe about 20 minutes or so as he seems to walk you a little bit of ways away from Park's Place towards Queens. Until at one point he takes a hard right. He goes, yeah, here we go. As you come around the corner, at the end, he is hunched over as he just takes these long fingernails and he slips it into what appears to be a very large manhole cover. You actually can hear him as you hear actual concrete give, metal bend as the hard twist happens. This motherfucker just broke some kind of sealant on this manhole cover and just picks it up with one hand, drops it off to the right. Yep, that's it, all right. Looks the rest of you. You guys can, you especially Onyx, as you approach, just sewage. It's the best way I can describe it. In as few words as power, it just floods out like an open mouth, like bad breath just hitting you point blank, and you just immediately just recoil instantaneously. Who's first?
I'm jumping in. No hesitation.
Crescent is gone.
As Acer sees him rip the whole cover off, he just kind of looks at him and goes, "Thank you for not using your full strength on me. Damn," and then just follows Crescent.
Looks to the last two of you. Mr. Harlan, Miss O'Connor.
Oh, God.
Oh, you're afraid to get wet. Come on.
Well, I'm glad we have the disinfectant showers.
I'm still hemming and hawing about it. I'm still...
I'll go in first.
Grace is the first to let go as he... Monica smiles at you wide. Onyx, go ahead and give me a resolve plus composure.
Oh. Okay. 3. No, wait. 4. 4
successes. That is enough. You hate what you're about to do, but favor for a favor. Just add it to the tab when you're done. As this is going to be something that would probably end up as adding up the hazard pay for this boon that you're fishing for right now. You're not going to like it, though. You're okay. Okay enough as it is. You go down?
Yeah.
I'll bet not as enthusiastic as the rest. You carefully begin sliding your way down into the dark. As Wildnecker climbs in behind you, and the hard middle sound as the manhole cover is now closed. Those that leapt down the hole, which is the majority of you, instantly your feet splash against slick, wet concrete. You guys have to kind of readjust for a moment before Acer, you and Crescent being the first ones, you both actually kind of step off to the side a little bit to make room from the incoming hole, a small bit of light coming down from the city top, and you immediately go about calf deep into muck. You can already feel it cold and foul, and it is seeping into your pant leg almost instantaneously. Grayson comes down next, moves off to the side as Onyx very carefully climbs down the ladder, moves off to the side, hugs the wall, and while NECA closes the porthole, sending you all into darkness again.
Flashlight!
Instantly lights come off. Ace has got a light. Grayson, do you have one as well?
He grabbed two, so I took the other one.
Alright, so you both have lights as they click on. Not much explanation needs to be made about a sewer. It is wet, it is moldy, it is foul. The nearby rainy seasons cause a small trickle of sludge and water to be rolling through the tunnel that Crescent and Acer are currently standing in. Onyx, the smell is immediately overpowering. It's instantaneously down here. Your heightened senses having a very hard time. I need you to go ahead and give me a Wits plus Resolve, as this smell is intense.
Three.
Just in time. As you're able to land foot, the smell is salty in your nostrils. You immediately just cover your nose and just kind of grit, just forcing your senses to dull. And you kind of take a moment. It's not as bad. It's still horrible, but at least you can't mentally draw the taste that you were feeling in the back of your throat any longer. And then you remember, I don't need to breathe. And suddenly the world feels a little better.
Not breathing. Got it.
There are perks to being dead. But while NECA sits down, lands next to you as the porthole is closed and looks around the rest of you. Alright. Stay close. Don't wander. And that's about it. Let's go. Without really missing a step, just leans off the small bit of concrete on the side and plunges half-calf into the sludge and starts sloshing through. You even hear him starting to whistle a little bit as he starts walking down through the tunnel. Not really even checking to see if you guys are following him or not. He just starts going.
I'm going to keep up with him, but pause for like a second to take one of the walkie-talkies since it seems like we've separated into groups? ? So just in case, I'm going to give one to Grayson and keep one on myself.
I am back against the wall, not near anyone.
It's not really hard as you guys all look to Onyx just for a moment as you guys are kind of making the move like we're going. Look behind her as Onyx is just like up against the wall. She's not even touching the wall, but she's like leaning closer to it. And her eyes just kind of keep looking at that sewage, looks back up at you guys. And you just see her just like freezing. Just like a cat that's just been suddenly startled. All her hackles are up.
My eyes are closed for a second. I'm trying to get the nerve to jump in here.
You succeeded on your roll previously. You can if you want to. This is just going to be on the mindset of you're not in a good mental space, and you are probably getting closer to our hair trigger very quicker than normal.
Gotcha. So I'll begrudgingly follow behind. But yeah.
You inch yourself off the concrete, and you immediately regret everything you've ever done, as you could feel jeans and the new boots flooded with liquid. It's like pudding liquid. Thank God you're not breathing. And you begin lagging behind the group and catch up in so many forms of uncomfortability.
Yeah. Right.
She doesn't have anybody around her.
Not at this second, no.
I'm marching back.
Ooh.
Grayson you take the walkie as, without missing a beat, and there's now an opening, Onyx, you kind of sludge up to the back of the group as Crescent kind of stops and looks at you and starts walking towards you. And she is focused on you.
I don't want to offend her by backing up again, because I know why she's mad. But you're just gonna look and just see a very sad sense of resolve.
She's probably going to approach with anger, but the second she sees that, she's gonna kind of drop a bit. And she's not gonna approach aggressively. She's just gonna say quietly as she gets closer, "What did you see? And why won't you say anything? Please."
She's going back and forth and kind of internally, you can see like an internal struggle going on. I'll close her eyes and
I'll still look at her, just absolutely pleading just to say something.
Look, what I see is flashes, and it doesn't give me the whole piece of the puzzle.
What are you missing? What do you need?
It depends. And, had I not seen the first half of what I saw, this probably would have been easier to tell. But can you blame me for not wanting to send you down here in a panic?
Onyx, have you ever loved someone?
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. And I don't want to feel like that, but that's what I feel right now. So please, if you have anything that I can do to help this. It's stupid. It's really stupid, and I don't want to be like this, but I need to know.
I understand. Coming from one girl who has, in fact, been in love to another.
Is he dead? Dead.
Yeah. And it's my fault. And you'll probably see her start to really cry.
As soon as Onyx is talking, you can see just blood and tears start to come down her face in the slow bit of backlight that comes from the flashlights ahead of you.
But what I can tell you is I'm trying really hard to let you have a clear head. Because sometimes, when you have information of someone suffering and you can't be there in time, it's gonna make it worse. I'm trying to give you a clear head here because I didn't have that. Will it help you find him to know? Or will it just hurt you more while you can't be there?
That's the thing, I don't know. I don't even know if he cares about me, I gotta be honest. It could just be another liar to my face. Probably the worst one of them all. I don't know. I don't know if he actually cares or anything, so I don't even know what I'm doing down here. I'm down here on the whim, on a hope. All I know is that I can't leave this without some sort of closure. I need closure.
I get it.
And I do care. So if he's dead, dead, please just tell me now, because I don't want to waste my time anymore. I just want to grieve and move on.
I will say this, honey. Well, I can't tell you whether or not he feels something for you, whether what that is, it is something. But I don't want you to get your hopes up. Because when a man loves you, he's gonna damn well tell you. But
I knew I was a fucking idiot.
But he does care.
I'll say as well to Grayson and Acer, while the conversation started soft in the background, at this point is now started to come up in volume. It is escalated in volume to now the voices are now echoing through the tunnel. You guys can hear this conversation.
This has nothing to do with whether or not he cares. It has everything to do with you. Now I will give you what I saw, and you decide whether or not it's worthwhile.
I just want to know the truth.
I can tell you he's very hurt. Maybe dead.
She's probably going to punch the wall next to her really hard.
As you actually all feel that tunnel kind of shake for a moment as stone and concrete nearby just impact and crack from the force of that hit. Hey! Try to fucking kill us down here?
If we're going to be down here looking for him, Crescent, it has to be about what you want. And it has to not be about what answer you're going to get from him. Because it might not be the one you want, but it's up to you whether or not it's worth it.
I need to know. I need to know.
Then I will, I'm gonna reach out. I'm not that touchy anymore, but I am gonna reach out and just kind of squeeze her shoulder and then pat it.
She'll flinch at first because she has that aversion to people touching her. But then she won't pull away.
I'll just grip her and look in her eyes and be like, well, then we'll help you find out. And you can make a decision from there. But I will tell you, honey, as I said, if they truly love you, and if they're worth it, they let you know. And I'm just going to start walking on and reach the others.
She's going to stand there for a few moments, just kind of taking it in.
Kind of stand there for a moment as the group begins to kind of move away from you a bit as Vamily is holding a very brisk pace. He's not slowing down in the slightest. And you're kind of lulled into the dark for a moment, and you can feel some of that water kind of moving. You're very consciously aware of the sound of footsteps running through water. And then you kind of start moving.
She's going to clench her fist and turn around and rejoin them, but she's not going to say anything.
You guys have this conversation moves as you guys are going through these tunnels. Grayson and Acer, you hear a lot of this tail in this conversation, especially kind of be able to jump a little bit as the sound of concrete and stone crack from the force of a emotional outburst from Crescent. What are both of you doing in the same time? Are you just leaving things be, or are you guys doing something specific? As Neka begins leading you guys through these twisting tunnels. Every now and then, it just is strange breakups from just long, endless tunnel, and then it just seems to fracture into 3 or 4 different dive ways. He seems to kind of scrape some sludge off along, lean closer and squint forward. It starts leading you guys off a different tunnel, and then before you know, you're taking lefts and rights and curves. It's almost impossible to get a lay of the directions you're going, but Neka seems to have a general guiding point. But at the same time, what are you guys doing in the midst of this conversation and things are going on?
This is something that's really personal to Crescent, and obviously, like, if she wanted to share these feelings, she would have done so with everyone a long time ago. So Ace is just gonna continue walking and pretend like he heard absolutely none of it.
What about you, Grace?
I'm listening, but I'm still keeping pace. I very much do not want to be down here.
It's fair enough.
It probably is even the tiniest bit apparent on Grace's face at this point.
Nothing about this area is comfortable for you. You're not comfortable who you're coming for. You're comfortable being here. You're comfortable in the situation. At least you're not wearing a suit.
The one thing that is a good anchoring point in his mind.
You guys keep going for a little while longer. The endless darkness just starting to become a little claustrophobic. Most people aren't too necessarily concerned about it, especially Kindred. But to the 3 of you, mainly, it kind of brings back some of the memories of those catacombs. Being in the long dark, where it's just, you look ahead of you, darkness. Look behind you, darkness. Every now and then there's a little spot of street light that kind of comes through from the scattered manholes that are kind of periodically overhead, giving you a bit of reprieve, and the flashlight's only carrying you so far, as Wild Neka seems to walk right at the end of that moonlight, or that flashlight, just a good few paces away, leading charge. But it just can't help that all of you are just feeling a little on edge. And it's not just the sewage in your boots, it's something wrong here. It's a sewer. It's not supposed to be pleasant, but just you can't shake the feeling of it. And that tension almost kind of rises to a peak where Wild Neka just puts a hand up and just immediately puts this militaristic sign of stop. Alright. You see he kind of slowly draws his handgun from his belt, clutching with both hands. You kind of see this militaristic mindset kick in. He no longer walks square. He kind of leans sideways, holding the gun pointed towards the ground. He takes a few squatted steps closer into the dark. You guys follow?
As he pulls out his gun, Acer's going to pull out one butterfly dagger, open it up, and just kind of crouch down and follow his lead.
I'll kind of, if there's a wall, I almost like start to go along it as I fit both of my brass knuckles on.
You too?
I am pulling my gun and being on the ready.
Okay. So.
I'll also pull gun. Be ready.
So, ignoring Wild Neka's order, you guys push forward a bit as Grayson and Acer, your lights kind of reconvene towards where he was. It takes about a minute or so. You move very quickly until you finally find his hunched over form down into the muck. It's like, you guys don't listen very well. Damn it. Fine, come on. As he shifts off to the side a little bit, and as you guys come around him, your weapons drawn, you see for a moment an arm fall against stone. And as you come around, you see that arm's attached to a full body. Slumped against the wall in a very awkward way, his back to it, you can tell that this man was homeless. Ragged, filthy jacket soaked with sewage. Long, scraggly, blackened beard, different from the man he was talking to before. Balding on one side, looked real grizzled in the face. What's disturbing about this individual is it's a dead man. It's obviously a dead man. The part that disturbs you immediately, though, is this man is showing signs of rapid decay. He's been here for a little bit. His face is gaunt, his skin waterlogged and jawed in, his color beyond gray, but his face is agape in abject terror. His mouth pearly locked, jawed open rigor mortis, his eyes wide in pain, though the sockets are long empty.
Can I shine my light over this guy and try to see a cause of death? Maybe like bite marks or anything that would have caused him to die?
Of course, but no necessary. As you shine the light over, Wild Neka takes the front end of his gun and kind of slowly pulls the jacket open. You can see that the internal shirt has been shredded. And you just hear him go, damn it, Rick. That explains a lot. As he pulls it further, you see one part of the clothing falls open from the mortal wound you assume is where his neck is. I'll bet where his neck should be, as there is just a massive gouging of flesh that has been just shredded and sundered off the side of his neck and ripped away. Parts of sinew and esophagus and internal visage is just hanging limply out as was forcibly removed. But the part that concerns you the most is that all over the bare skin that's being exposed by Wild Neka, there's just bite marks everywhere. Chunks of flesh is missing. His entire abdominal cavity has looked like it's been torn open by hand. Just ripped from the center as his viscera has already been long spilled out and bloated from the water. This man has been ripped apart from the torso outward. Anyone that's observing and wants to kind of get any more details out of this, of what might happen, give me an intelligence plus medicine.
3.
3 successes. Grayson, did you want to roll as well?
I got 3 successes.
3 successes. Onyx, are you checking medicine as well?
What was it again?
Medicine? Intelligence plus medicine.
Yes.
Got you.
If you want to look like deeper.
I got
just
absolutely nothing.
I'm just making sure it's not like another hairy boy.
No, the ones that got 3 successes. Crescent, you've seen a lot of bodies. You're not really medically trained. It's very apparent what killed him. That was torn apart. How he exactly died? Hard to say. Who knows? It's a little weird to find a body down here like this, but vagrants, the homeless people kind of move around. A Nos could have killed them for all you know. To Grayson and Acer, as you guys move a bit closer and take a look, these bite marks, the ones that are not as deep. Veronica kind of pushes some of the decayed rag off of him, kind of moving down the shoulder along his arms. You can see he's missing fingers. He's got bite marks on his hand, on his arms, shoulders, on his face even. These don't look like animal bites. These don't look like rats gnawing. These look like human bites. Like people attacked him. And upon closer inspection, for the both of you, it looks like part of his entrails has been chewed on. Kind of like if you bite into a ham and just rip a chunk off of it and leave the rest behind. This man has had little chunks bitten out of him, and it's not by one. The teeth marks don't match up. It's insane. They're all different. This looks like he was eaten by a person. Maybe more than one person.
Is there any reason this guy has been cannibalized?
I don't like this.
As in
Like
other people eat him.
humans?
I see human teeth. Teeth marks here, and here.
I mean, unless there were other thin bloods that also have my same condition, I don't know any kindred that need to actually eat the person.
Well, Necker keeps the gun in one hand as he kind of brings a hand up to his face and shakes his head. Nah, no kindred did this. No Nos would do this either. I mean, there's some of us that eat, like, kidneys. Some people have that kind of flavor. But not like this. It's not like a frenzy. It's not like brutal. It's too messy. I mean, he also seems like rub his fingers along the wall a bit. You see a bit of, like, blackish slime peel at his fingers, also between his fingers, and on his Shirvalchi. No Nos leaves behind that much blood. Damn it, Rick.
Rick, you knew him?
Monaka kind of gives a bit of a shoulder slump and just shakes his head. He's one of the homeless guys that I go visit from time to time in the city. He went missing probably about a week ago. Everyone say he probably just skipped town. You know, he was human, but he was tough as mortals go. He takes his gun and kind of lifts off one side of the hand. He kind of points like, look at this. He kind of leaves it. Fingers. As you look at the man's missing 4 out of 5 of his fingers. No vampire, no kindred would do that. That's kind of puts it, raises the gun so the hand kind of comes in front of Rick's face, for kind of flops under his face. That's, if you ask me, that's a telltale defense wound.
So, what could have done that? Zombies or something? Like
zombies?
Come on.
I don't know at this point. All right.
I mean, to be fair,
Comic books?
to be fair, I've seen kindred, I've seen werewolves. I wouldn't put it past if zombies exist.
All right, it's something, and it's obviously not kindred, and we know that other creatures exist. So,
Wayaneka, out of curiosity, do you know anyone else that went missing from your group?
It's been about a handful of them, yeah. Look, like I said,
All of them within the same area that this guy's from, I presume?
all over the city. There's been a couple of guys, a couple of the folks that, you see, we all kind of congregate, you know, the homeless people have their own kind of network, so to speak. We talk stories, probably the best place to keep shelter, stay dry, that kind of sort of thing. But a few of the guys, I was telling Grayson and Crescent when they came to see me earlier tonight, why I didn't want to come down here, because the sewers used to be our highway. An easy way to get from point A to point B if you knew where you were going without really getting a lot of attention. The homeless people don't really like me to notice because, you know, people harass them. They're mean. Humans can be real shitbags to the less fortunate at times. And, well, I kind of made this sort of highway system. I showed them around. And, this was our space. This was our way to meet and be safe. Well, I warned them, and they were insistent on it. But we don't use these tunnels that much anymore. They were saying they were hearing some weird things. And it spooked a lot of people. They don't want to come down here anymore. We don't know what was going on, but they heard some weird noises in the dark and got the hell out of there. Better safe than sorry for my kind of folk. But some of the brave ones, they swear we were all just being crazy.
And the maintenance place we're trying to reach, is that much further ahead?
He kind of stops for a moment, looks up, he looks at the wall above Rick, kind of scrapping some of the sludge away. Quick look at the side, kind of smiles some of that sludge away. You can see there's a strange scrawlings of deep scratches into the brick itself. It kind of follows the fingerprints. It seems to match his own. He kind of draws them through, turns and looks. Yeah, we're still heading the right way. A little bit of a distance away, but as long as we don't get fucking lost, we should be fine.
Well, that would explain why you ran down here.
People like the pump stations. They're dry. They're warm. All the electricity keeps things nice and hot. It's just no one's been able to really use it, because again, people have been fucking terrified. And I'm talking guys bigger than this guy. While he kind of kneels down into the muck and rolls Rick over from him, he grabs his hands and puts them across his chest, pulling up his jacket a little bit. You can see there's an old Vietnam-era Marines patch on his right shoulder of his jacket. Mm-hmm. And he just kind of leans over and just rips off the patch, clutches it in hand. Sorry, buddy. Sticks the patch underneath the little pocket in his coat, bites his jacket. Alright. Just kind of standing up and he just starts walking.
Acer just does the same and just goes, "Thank you for your service," and just follows Woyomeka.
I'll follow behind as well.
Grayson, do you lag behind?
For a moment. So I look down at the corpse. See the patch that was torn off. It's too bad. Would have had a nice place for you. Maybe next time. And I keep going.
Grayson, after a while, you guys keep walking. Wanaka continues to make strange turns that just seem to be guided by an unseen force for him. He walks very confidently. Never really questioned himself more than a mere moment to double check where he is. You start feeling uneasy back here. So I don't know, something about that body, something about this tunnels. It unnerves you. You're very aware of the sound of feet moving across the sludge, cold sewage, that kind of fading into the back-ray sensory information, but you become very accustomed to the rhythmic sounds of you guys always all walking in tandem through the muck. And the pattern is off. The sounds of water is not as rhythmic suddenly, as there seems to be a delay to the sound. You move, and there's another sound. You won't move, there's another sound.
How far away from my group am I? I would assume I went right next to them. Like, I'm very close bringing up the rear, so we don't...
You're very close bringing up the rear.
Yeah, I'm in the back end too, sludging, unfortunately. Focusing on the squish.
Yeah, Onyx, you're not really perceptive of the world around you right now. You're just trying to get through this.
No, but I am towards the back.
You are. But I will say, Grayson, you are fairly close enough, but there's that... You know when you get walking with friends through like a wet, rainy day, you kind of get used to the sound of wet footsteps moving together. Everyone has this natural inclination that they start walking at the same pace, same movement, same even footfalls. You guys can even almost be like almost robotic in that nature, just by the nature of walking as a group. That rhythm, that sound is off now. It's hard to pinpoint because it just echoes everywhere, but there's like a extra delay not too far away.
I have Onyx in front of me, like, Onyx, I'm going to use you. I'm going to keep walking. I'm just going to use you as an anchor. And do you mind if and as I reach over, I put my hand on her shoulder and I keep walking, but I turn my head back, basically like I use her just to like keep me walking, but I turn around and I activate Sense the Unseen.
Sense the Unseen. Go ahead. Check the roll here.
Yep. Yeah, I've got my hand hovering over my gun, and the other one is then just gonna latch onto...
Grayson, give me a wits plus aspects.
One success.
One success. You can't really see in the dark. But with the sense of the unseen, one thing you do notice is there's these, along the walls of this sewage tunnel, there's like these little wisps of like cobweb. You know they're not actual cobweb because there's nothing there. You can tell the difference, but it's like this filament that just kind of hangs, like decay every now and then, just kind of stuck into strange places. Onyx even walks blatantly through it and doesn't feel it, but you feel that small chill, kind of like you just brush something against your face. It's strange, it's everywhere. The farther you go, the denser it seems to get. It's got an essence here. It's old, and it's decaying, but it's there. It seems to just kind of hang in the cloud. You almost taste death, as if it had a taste.
Everything okay?
I don't know why. But I'm starting to sense something else. There's something else hanging in the air. And it's not just the smell. It doesn't smell like what I'm smelling right now. This is
smelling? Oh, crap. Is there something I should be sensing?
Death.
I guess I'm going to turn my heightened senses back on, very begrudgingly.
I need you to give me, for this, it's going to be, it's going to be a composure and resolve.
Oh.
Because you know what's about to hit your senses.
Yep. Things I do for you people.
It's okay. We'll save you later.
4.
Don't take any willpower damage. I'm only allowing that roll because you've been pretty good on those so far. As your senses flood open, immediately that smell and those feelings just rush back into you, and you rip on to Grayson just to kind of ground yourself.
My nails are going into your hand.
As if you still carry the capability to vomit, and you have to catch yourself as you could just, in your mind, picture what you are in right now, and as far as it goes, because it is now just all around you. But you're able to cut through. You're able to keep yourself grounded and just kind of cut through this sensory overload of how filthy you actually are right now. And you hear something. You hear the sloshing of water behind you. Something moving through it. You also hear... As something is moving towards your direction, maybe 20 feet, 30 feet away from you. Sounds like
behind us or in front of us?
Behind you. It sounds like something's in pain.
I am going to grip. I've got a grip on Grayson's hand, and I'm going to, at the sound of that, whirl right around really fast. And I'm gonna lean in and be like, "There's someone following."
Fuck! I knew it. It's the stench. It's the other world.
The rest of you guys at the front, you guys can feel the sudden shift as Crescent, you bring up the middle. As you kind of overhear this as there's an alertness on his voice, and she just spins around. You guys can hear the jarring of water as Ronaka even looks over his shoulder.
I'm gonna look.
I'll flash my light in that direction, see what's going on.
The light illuminates the back way as you guys spin around. Ronaka just kind of taking pause, just looking curiously. Come on, you gotta keep moving.
You guys okay?
Someone's following.
You guys can't... You don't see anything?
I can't, but, well, I can see things, but...
Can they hear it?
It's a bit far away.
Or is it's just me?
So far, it's just you. The sound is now starting to get louder as it's approaching. It's closer. It's still moving. It's not rushed. The rhythm and step is off. It's not walking quickly. It's just moving closer. It sounds like it's dragging itself. This watch, as you just still hear that now louder.
Guys, I think we need to move.
Acer,
I'm going to start pulling her back.
You guys start pulling back a little bit as Acer, at the end of your high-powered flashlights, I know you got them. You made it clear. You can start to see ripplings of water moving towards you as the faintest bit of a silhouette is starting to come into the faded distance of light. There is someone standing in the middle of the tunnel. Can't really make out much. Onyx, though, for you, your eyes attuned to the dark, only aided by this light. You see a man, probably 6'2", 6'3", big man, broad shoulders. He's in a same kind of very thick, puffy coat, probably was black or green at one point. It's horribly faded, tattered and torn apart. He wearing filthy, old clothes, matted hair. In front of his face, there's probably a very long, stringy hair kind of stuck to the front of his face. His head's down. He's grabbing onto one side of his arms, and he's just... he's just walking and limping through the sludge towards you. At this point, you guys are now starting to finally be able to see it as well.
So we're still just out in the open, just backing up slightly?
It's just a tunnel. There's nowhere to go. There's going towards it or running away.
Can I help you? Can we help you?
As your voice speaks, it just stops. Its head's still down. It's just clutching the side of its arm, digging its nails into its just shredded coat. The head slowly begins to look up. Onyx, you specifically can see his eyes are widened over. These are the eyes of a dead man. Your eyes lock as you look at unblinking, corpse-like eyes as it suddenly just starts screaming as the sound just ricochets through the tunnel. He is charging straight. All of a sudden, this limping man opens wide, goes into a wild rabbit sprint, and is coming straight towards it. Grayson, you're the closest one to it as he immediately starts trying to dogpile on top of you.
Oh, I'm going to crush his face.
Go ahead and go for a brawl plus athletics, or strength plus brawl, sorry.
I am pulling out the gun and screaming, "Damn it, Crescent, why'd you have to say zombies?"
I'm gonna pull out my gun and say, was I wrong?
Hey, at least it's not a witch. We're all good.
Is anyone shooting, or is Grayson just going to punch it in the face by himself?
I'm waiting for Grayson because I don't want to accidentally shoot him.
Hit him, exactly. Let him get the punch in.
Plus, I don't want to deafen anybody.
I got 5 successes. Oh, wait. Yeah, 5 successes.
You go in for a swing, and you just hit Miss Air as this thing simply ducks down low, slams into your torso like a fucking linebacker. You are knocked off your feet and hit the sludge as you feel a searing pain in your abdomen as this screaming monstrosity just starts digging into you. You feel just hardened fingertips up against your back, holding to it as he is chewing on you.
I am shooting.
Yes,
I'm shooting.
Now that Grayson's on the ground, I've got a clear shot. Shooting.
Grayson,
we're shooting.
You do take a point of superficial damage. You beat you with one. As you take a point of superficial, you can feel it tearing into your outfit as rounds go off. Onyx and Crescent, this would be dexterity plus firearms.
Yep. 5.
5. Okay.
2, 3, 4, 6.
6. Several shots ring out in rapid succession. 3, 4, 5, 6 shots off of both of you guys as you just plow ammunition into this thing. It doesn't stop it initially. You see bullets hit the back of this creature, and it's just still just chewing into Grayson until finally Crescent fires one shot off. Wild Naked Shots takes one shot as well, and it shoots it straight up the side of the face, blowing the side of its face open. Viscera splatters all over you, Grayson, as Acer actually finally manages to pull you out of the way as this thing is just screaming into your torso, and then finally goes limp as a lot of bullets go into him very quickly. This thing didn't act like it felt pain.
Yep.
I will at that point try and help Grayson up.
Well, she's helping Grayson up. I'm going up to thing, going directly to its head and shooting like 3 shots into it.
Gunshots
I'm
echoing.
double tapped.
Gunshots just echoing out through the tunnel as Grayson, you're just kind of just wide-eyed for a moment, pull yourself up as Acer holds you to your feet. Your hand immediately clutches your side as you look down. Son of a bitch. They just took a chunk of flesh out of you.
As I pick him up too, I'm patting through my jacket, and all I have is a handkerchief, but I'm gonna hand it to him anyways.
Oh, it's a good thing we're not alive, or else I'd be very worried about you turning into one of them.
This is the least of my fucking worries for tonight.
On that note, Onyx, you don't need height senses to hear what you all just hear, but for you hear it at much greater intensity. You're screaming. Not one scream. A crowd, a group, this entire tunnel is echoing as you can hear just a chorus of frothing screams from in front and behind. Neka's ears immediately perk up and he starts looking around wide-eyed as he immediately draws his gun. He checks it as you now hear down the way that you guys just came. There is now a rapid sound of moving footsteps sloshing through mud and tumbling over each other. That thing wasn't alone. Move it! As Neka just starts booking it down the tunnel path. As these sounds are getting louder and louder. Onyx, you kind of bring up the rear bed. You could hear it is pounding behind you as there are, I don't know how many of you don't want to know, but they are moving fast. As Neka is just taking rapid decisions. Left, right, quickly. All of a sudden, as he comes around the corner, just moving hard as steel, you guys are right on top of him. He hits the side corner. All of a sudden, a blur of motion just dunks right into him and just slams into his body. He counts shit, fuck, as it just tackles him to the ground as something is just dogpiled on top of him.
I'm shooting whatever on top of him.
Go and make a dexterity plus, it's actually moving over composure plus firearms.
After her shot, I'll run up, and if it's still alive, I'm going to attack it with my dagger.
Go for it. This moment, as this is happening, Grayson and Onyx, you guys kind of catch up to the group, see this happen. You see 2 more starting to come sprinting down the tunnelway. As Grayson, you pull your flashlight up, and you see just these wide, pale faces with just sunken in, hollowed out eyes, just running face first, mouth agape.
How many?
Just 2.
Just 2? Okay, I'm aiming for the head.
Okay, this will be a called shot, but this will be at a -10 penalty, but go for it. This will be composure plus firearms. Grayson, what are you doing?
I really want to run towards them. So, if whatever the thing is that's on Neka, I'll try to rip that off.
You're just going to try and pull him off? All right.
Well, more like grab his leg and try to whip him in the direction of those other things.
Go for it. All right. Give me a strength plus athletics. 4 successes. Okay. Acer, you were doing something as well. Sorry.
Depending on whether that thing is still moving after Cress's shot, I was going to attack it.
Okay, go for it. This is all happening at one time. This is basically a 3 in, 3 out. We'll see what happens. As Onyx, you take your shot. What you got?
3.
3 total. Okay.
I got 2.
All right, so Grayson. 1.
Yep.
These all move at the same time. As Onyx, you stop for a moment. You turn to your right. You need to take stands. 2 shots go off. As you can see the head just snap back. The body just instantly kind of crumples for a moment. It's still lunging and moving, but it staggers for just a moment, just in time to hear Crescent pop off 2 more shots straight in the back of this creature's head. It kind of jolts for a moment. As Ace, you come in with your knife, it just slices hard. It freezes for a moment as it's trying. You can see it just gnawing down onto the side of Neka's arm. He's fighting back, just beating with the side of his pistol. Grayson, you're not able to throw it. You're able to grab the front of his legs. It's not really focused on you, and you just rip this corpse off of him, and it slides away. It kind of rolls it about a few feet away, freeing Neka as he quickly stands back up. Run!
Following Neka.
You guys begin taking off as it kind of stumbles. Some of these other corpses kind of stumble over, but now they are running towards you, still injured and moving. At this point, as you guys are sprinting down, the voices are getting louder and louder as Wildnut is covering his arms. Shit! That was supposed to be the safe right there! As Wildnut is now running down this tunnel, you're seeing he's passing by entryways, and as you guys do, you're seeing brief flashes every so often as he is about to lean towards the tunnel, but then he suddenly just stops and hesitates and runs in a different direction. You look to your right as you come around the corner, there's another all pack of them right there. He keeps running down another corridor, takes a hard right, and just backs up right into you guys as there is another 4 or 5 right in front of you. He's like, shit! It takes immediately a different direction. Every turn that Wild Nugget keeps trying to take, there's just more and more of them. Are you guys trying to help or do anything, or are you just following him? At this point, he's having a hard time.
I'm just going to say, Wyneka, safest direction.
Path of least resistance. If we have to shoot him down, we will.
You hear these fucking things? I don't think there's going to be a path of least resistance.
If they weren't here, which tunnel would be the safest?
As you guys are just sprinting down. Oh, you guys are going to like it. I think there might be a way. As he just goes fucking booking it.
Okay, I will follow him.
Yep, running with him.
At this point, at the second phase of this very intense moment, you hear this horde growing closer and closer to you guys. Onyx, you're still taking the rear with your heightened sense. You look behind you, you are now seeing some of the silhouettes gaining on you. 10, 20, 25. You are rapidly counting heads as there is just all these strange people that are just frothing the mouth, wide-eyed and screaming. Some are seeming to have to stumble and sprint, but they're all moving inhumanly fast with reckless abandon. They fall and stumble over each other. They barrel roll over each other, just keep picking up and running just by this savage frothing instinct, just wide-eyed in fury. It's like they're rabid dogs. They just can't, they're just chasing.
Guys, we need to move faster. We need to move faster.
Yep, trying.
We need a way to lose them.
I've got it.
What
do you got?
I'm popping Shroud.
I need 2 rouse checks. 2 successes?
Yes!
Immediately, you are all... You feel this rippling of cold air around you as you are all plunged into complete pitch black darkness.
I will walk away enough so that they know where they're going.
So, to be fair, you're going to start lagging behind the group.
Yep, I know.
Onyx, I believe heightened senses can see through Shroud, correct?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure.
Because heightened senses are supernatural, so yes, you do.
Okay,
too.
then
I'm
yeah.
gonna call on it. But as you are right in front of Crescent, you see watch as she starts lagging behind purposely. That horde gaining on her fast.
I will lag behind with her, and I will aim towards whatever starts gaining on us.
All right, so you two are willingly pulling yourselves back to let this horde get a bit closer to try and do this. As the rest of the group, if you're not doing anything, I'm going to need a stamina plus athletics to try and keep up with Bioneka because he's moving really fast. And I mean, get the fuck out of here fast.
Oh, this is great. I love stamina plus athletics. 0.
Yeah, 0?
Yes.
So, Bioneka keeps running as Onyx, you spin around, you take a couple shots. Are you just trying to wound some of them? Because this is just firing a lot of bullets into a wave.
Yeah, whatever is gaining. Like if any of them are pulling forward, I am trying to. I know I can't bring them down, but I'm trying to slow them. So I'm going to aim for things that are going to make them stumble or throw them. Get them to fall down.
I'm going to say you're going to take some leg shots at the leaders of the pack to trying to kind of tumble the herd a little bit. Go ahead for this. This is going to be a composure plus firearms in the called shot, so it's going to be -2.
Okay. Ooh. Sweet.
What do you got?
It's only a 1 right now.
1 success. Acer, was that a bestial failure or just a regular failure?
Just a regular failure. No skulls.
Okay. So, Onyx, you turn and just start firing wildly as you're just trying to find shots. Bullets are ricocheting off the side of the walls. They're hitting some individuals. It's not really hard to hit. You're shooting into a mass. You're nailing shoulders. You're nailing center of masses. You're hitting kill shots. It's not helping much as Grayson, you were behind Acer at this point, running behind him just in time to watch as he hits and slams into sewage right in front of him, and you have to jump and leap over him. He hits hard, and it's a face full of muck. You're reacting?
Rapid reflex, just yanking him off the ground.
Give me a strength plus athletics.
I'm going to be tasting that for weeks.
3 successes.
3 successes. You manage to pull it back onto his feet as your mouth, Acer, is just flooded with raw sewage. Grayson holds you off your feet, and you guys keep running.
Oh, fuck zombies.
The horde now...
We're not using the Z word.
Alright. Fuck necromantic bitches.
I'll accept that.
At this point now, Crescent, the front of the horde has now entered into your darkness. You can see their eyes just kind of go wide and unfocused, like 2 eyeballs looking independently off to the side of each other. They're just shaking wildly as they're still just running forward as fast as they can. This seems they've become barely unfocused, but they are now gaining on you and Onyx as you guys are closer together. But this seems to have kind of thrown off the equilibrium a little bit. They stumble a bit more, kind of touching each other. You see one kind of swings out wide, grabs another, and starts chewing into him, or suddenly releasing and kind of stumbling over each other. The pack kind of fragments a little bit. There are still some hard runners, but it's no longer as dense. There's a bit more spread out, just a little bit, as you're kind of keeping maybe more dumber ones at bay. It's hard to say.
I'm turning to Onyx, and even though there's no sound, she can see me mouth the words, "Run!"
I'll struggle with it, and then
I'm glaring into her until she runs.
Yeah, I'll start to get ahead, but I'm still keeping an eye on her, and if I need to take a shot, I will.
You pull ahead of the darkness. You feel like you're stepping out of the water into open air for a moment, as this strange reverberation kind of pulls behind you to keep running forward to Grayson and Acer, though, as this is the main problem. Oh, looks like Grayson kind of stepped away for a second. We'll just wait for just a brief moment. So, welcome back, Mr. Holland. So, at this point, as you all running down, Grayson, you take the time to pull Acer right back up, but when you both look up, you guys are shining lights ahead of you. Wow, Nectar has pulled ahead. He has moved insanely fast. In that stumble, you've lost sight of him as you both come around the bend and the tunnels suddenly divert off into 4 different directions. Grayson and Acer, you both are ahead of the pack just for mere moments. What do you guys want to do?
Grayson, you investigate as he goes into his backpack and pulls out the UV flash grenade thing that he's been working on, and he's going to use his knife to start crossing wires, and basically he wants to make this thing fail.
You want to explode?
Yes, I want it to explode. And he's just going to start recrossing wires and just making this thing as unstable as possible.
This is going to be composure and technology. As this is not a matter of how do I do it, this is can you keep your hands still enough to do it without it blowing up in your face?
Let's do this.
As Grayson, what do you want to do as this moment happens? Onyx, you see quickly coming up as Grayson and Acer are stopped in the middle of this.
Where are we going, guys? Where'd he go?
I'm looking down the hallways, and I still have Sense the Unseen up, so I'm just scanning hallways. Whatever has, like, the most spectral pull or something like that.
Go ahead and give me... If you're going to use Sense the Unseen for this, I'd say the best roll I can say would be your Wits plus Auspex. Yeah, your Wits plus Auspex. As you're trying to just gain some kind of supernatural essence of the situation to make a clear decision.
I still have the flashlight in my hand, too.
You do. So it does help you actually see, which is why this is possible.
1 success.
1 success?
Can I try and... My heightened senses is still up.
You can try
I know there's a horde.
You can try to help him, and Grayson, you can spend willpower if you want. And there are blood die at the disposal.
I will help.
Okay, so another die. You do have willpower if you want to burn so, and you can use blood die if you want to.
I'll just go with a reroll. At least I can reroll 3 of them then.
Okay, and then add an extra die because Onyx is trying to help you.
No, that's with the extra. That's with.
Okay.
I already added it. That changes it to 3 successes.
3 successes, okay. So, Acer, what do you got?
I got 5 successes.
5 successes is what you needed.
Okay.
As Grayson, you immediately begin looking around as Onyx is just wide-eyed with you. Feel her hand on your shoulder as you both just start scanning through tunnels. Onyx, using your heightened senses, you don't see anything too far away as it kind of goes quite a distance, but you hear the 2 farthest right-hand side tunnels, more of those screams, and a lot of them coming straight towards you guys. But Grayson, you look. All these tunnels ahead of you is just like these swirling vortexes of these cobwebs. It seems like it's just permeating on the far middle and this very dead center, but the far left tunnel, it's a lot cleaner. It's a lot more open air, so to speak. Just as you both hear, Acer wiggles a knife through, and you hear a very distinct sound of gases being trapped in a very tight container and a sounds of electrical sparks.
Did you get a heading? Because we don't have much time left.
That battery is rapidly expanding.
The far left. There's more open air. There's a lot less of whatever the hell nastiness is in the air. Only that I can see. It's the far left.
Like Gandalf.
Go there.
I don't know how Shroud works, so Crescent, I hope you can hear this.
I can't.
Oh, then you're in for a great surprise. Nope, better idea. What a waste of a pill. I'm going to take Far Reach, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to get it as high as possible to see if I can chuck it into the darkness, but over Crescent, because I don't know where they are right now.
You can't really hear the muffling behind you. You can hear some screams coming ahead of you.
Yep, and all I just see is this wall of darkness getting closer, and I'm just kind of like, all right, let's hope I can hug this over her. And I'm going to use my empowered Far Reach and just chuck it as far as I can.
You pop the pill. Give me a rouse check. Success. You do not get hungrier. As you guys watch your amazement, as this battery is gone from a large square brick, it is now a circle. That's not a way a battery should look, as it seems to be rapidly expanding. You can see sparks coming off the side as the front light is just flickering on and off very rapidly as it suddenly begins to float out of his hand. Acer, you look and point. I need you to go ahead and just give me... See if you don't accidentally hit Crescent as you're just shooting into the dark. This is going to be a composure plus awareness.
Okay. Composure and... Oh, I actually have good awareness. And you know what? Just for fun, I am going to rouse.
You may rouse.
Success.
Good.
I get an extra. Oh, I love being smart. 6 successes with a crit.
Crescent, as you are running, this is back hard as you can, staring behind you, that horde, 10 feet, 8 feet, 5 feet. They're right on your fucking heels as you are just blitzing through, purposely keeping yourself slower to be bait. You turn around, ready to defend yourself on your heel, as all of a sudden, you feel wind blow past your hair as this massive cylinder of brick slams into the front that was just about to grab you, into its mouth. It rears back. That's a battery. That's big. That's danger. Give me a straight dexterity plus athletics to try and see if you can just jump out of the way of this last second.
Dexterity and athletics?
Yes.
3 successes.
There's also a 10 blood die right there if anyone wants to use them, just saying.
Not yet.
So Crescent, the darkness encompasses the brightest of flashes you probably could ever experience, but you feel the heat as you suddenly just lean backwards as far as you can and kick yourself. You feel your back slide into the sludge as you're kicked away, as it sounds like a depth charge just suddenly goes off as you push yourself away. The entire front of this horde liquefies as this electric explosion just tears apart the front of the pack, the blowbacks ricocheting into the herd as they domino backwards as some of the metallic and plastic pieces just rocket past you. You feel slices and cuts come by you as you just slide away. You do take 3 superficial damage, dodging a hefty amount of this blast as you just slide backwards. You look back up, your hair kind of singed a little bit. You feel like you've lost some eyebrows as probably the good front chunk has just been blown away, and the horde is now briefly stumbling over itself, stopping its progress for just a moment. It was a decent-sized dent, but there's still more behind it. If you guys want to react now, you guys have a free second.
Through the tunnel.
Yeah, Acer's gonna take his dagger, and as Grayson and Onyx go through the tunnel, he's gonna start carving along the wall to make sure that when Crescent gets to where they are, she can see the carves of which way that they went.
So you guys book it?
I mean, I'm hoping I didn't hit her. That's the only thing.
You don't know.
The darkness is still up, so I'm assuming she's alive, and I can't do anything else. So yeah, that's all I can do.
I'm following-ish, but still purposely lagging behind.
So I have one thing I'll do.
Okay.
When I get to the very edge of the tunnel, I'm going to nick my palm, and I'm going to touch the wall, and I'm going to activate Corrosive Vitae to mark basically to mark the wall.
Oh, beautiful.
Smart. So, the 3 of you book off as the darkness is a little bit farther away from you. Begin moving it. Acer, you start dragging your knife across the wall, making this very high-pitched scratching noise. It's not really enough to dig into it, but Grayson comes right behind you. You start running along the wall as stone begins to rapidly melt and decay. Crescent, you gather yourself up and begin booking it. Thanks to your friends, all unnecessary. As you come to this 4-way junction for a moment, you look over to the right, you look around for a moment, just kind of perplexed at the situation, and you feel genuine fear. You may not need to roll to see, but you're scared, aren't you?
Oh, definitely. She put up Shroud knowing the consequences of it, but she still doesn't want to die. Especially not like this.
That survival sense is kicking in, and Crescent is starting to lose her cool. You feel stings and pains from shrapnel. Those things, whatever they are just starting to ramble up, and you can start to hear noises deftly moving closer and around you. I need you to resist Terror Frenzy.
Okay.
As Grayson just...
4 successes!
Oh my god, you're so smart.
4 successes. You're not going to die down here. You're not going to die down here. Think! 1, 2, 3. And then you see a piece of stone plop off the wall and fall into the water. As you can see, it begins to just corrode itself away. You know, you can do that. That's it. That's where they went. And you immediately haul down the far left tunnel.
Yep.
You guys move your way faster and faster as the 3 of you come to it first. Onyx, the sound of rushing water begins to invade your mind as you hear it before you see it. Come around a hard bend as there is a modicum of dimmer light coming down from the rest of this passageway as you see a silhouette leaning over an open way. It's Wawaneka as he leans over, and you hear very loud churning water. The rest of you can hear loud churning water as you come to see that he is standing on an edge, and a massive swirling fishbowl of sewage is right in front of you. The Wawaneka is just standing at the front of it and just looks behind you guys wide-eyed. And he jumps.
What the fuck?
Into the water?
He just jumped off the edge.
Fuck that!
Oh.
Crescent's starting to come. As you guys can see, that darkness is starting to push through. If you're going to drop it now, Crescent, you're coming up to your friends.
Oh,
No, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay at the lip of it because this is the only defense I have. So I'll stay away from them so that they can still reconvene. But
Then as long as it's out, unless you're
friend.
enveloping them, they can't hear you. If you envelop them, you're still standing here waiting for them to make a decision. Then
No, that's fine.
okay. As the 3 of you come to the edge, you see Wawaneka. He does jump off, and you see his body kind of loop around this massive fishbowl, like a big toilet bowl, once, twice, and then all of a sudden, the farthest end, where there's barely you can see that mask stops. As you can see, he has grabbed onto some kind of maintenance ladder on the very far side, and what pulls himself out. There is a maintenance railing on the far side of this fishbowl. As you can see, there are many different tunnels that are funneling into this drainage area.
God, you're kidding me.
Nope, doesn't seem like it. You want to go first?
No. Whoa.
Grayson?
Ugh.
Oh boy, this is fucking stupid. But if I make it, then maybe I can pull you lot up there.
You are the stronger of the four of us.
Just not that athletic.
I might be able to, actually.
If you miss, I'll help. And he pulls out his last far reach and presses it between his cheeks.
Oh, okay. I panic, but I'll just jump. Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Onyx, you go straight to the edge and brace yourself as you feel yourself lock up as you look down. That is not just sewage water. That is black, filthy, rank, disgusting water. And not only that, that is a fear and terror that you don't know where that goes. You don't really need to breathe, so drowning's not a worry, but you don't know where that goes. Feel that terror kick in. I'm going to need you to go ahead and give me a terror frenzy as well.
Cool.
So, on spent willpower, half humanity rounded down.
Uh-huh. Four
successes will do it. As you feel yourself freeze, you almost feel a warm hand on the back of your shoulder. And you just hear Declan's voice cut through the chaos, and everything slows for a moment. You just hear, go. And before you know it, you leap off. Onyx has gone over. What about the other two of you guys? What are you guys doing as Crescent is still staying back?
I have to stay up top to make sure that if she misses the ladder, I can use far reach in order to fling her back on.
Okay, so Acer is waiting. Grayson, what are you doing?
Look, Ace, should I wait until she gets there first, or just hope?
I got both of you.
Gonna loop the flashlight around my wrist and...
Absolutely. That's easy enough.
And... oh, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Fucking hate this. And I jump in.
Grayson, you also still terrified, but your resolve is a bit stronger than Onyx in this regard, and you throw yourself off the edge. Both of you guys immediately hit the water. The cold water chokes over you. Thank God you don't need to breathe, because it would knock the wind out of you as you were suddenly writhing and tumbling. You both put yourself over and just out of reaction gasp for air as you were just being carried along this whirling chaos of a vortex. Crescent, you watch two of your friends jump off the side as Acer is stood behind watching. The sound is close. It looks like Acer and yourselves bought yourself a little bit of time, so you just kind of stand there, waiting in the darkness, kind of inching yourself away back just a little bit longer. They're coming. Grayson and Onyx, you manage to land close enough to each other. As you both come out, your ears are just roaring as the sound of churning and foaming water just gets into your mouth, gets into your clothes, gets into everything. As the first swish by, as rapidly coming towards you, you can see a steel ladder dipping down deep into the water. As it's rapidly coming towards you, you can see as Wawaneka sees both of you come, he loops his legs down into the rungs, and he actually leans backwards and throws his hands out. I need both you guys to try and make either a strength or dexterity plus athletics. It's up to you.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely going to be strength then for me.
That too.
We got willpower, you can burn it. We got blood die, you can burn it. You want to rouse, you can burn it.
I'm gonna need to. Can I use the blood die thingy?
How many do you wish to take?
2. I just need it to be a slightly better, please.
You take 2 blood die, add it to your roll.
I'm gonna rouse for an extra die.
Go ahead and give me a hunger check.
How much is rouse, like potency +1?
Yeah, it's basically potency +1. Let me check here. For Grayson, rousing would get you
Rousing would get him 2 then.
It's you 2, and Onyx would get her 2 if she roused as well.
It would get me 2?
If you roused, yes. So you get another 2 if you wanted.
I might need it.
Okay, make a rouse check.
Rouse the blood, girl.
I do not get hungrier.
Nice.
Neither do I.
Amazing. Go ahead and add another 2 dice to your roll. Onyx, you have a total of 4 bonus. You took blood die as well.
Okay. That's better. Maybe.
4 successes. Grayson,
Yeah, there you
got
go.
Okay, so total of 6, because I got a critical.
6 successes. Onyx, you fall short. So, I have a choice for you. Your intelligence and wits are pretty high.
Yeah.
You see you're coming too fast, and you can tell already in the split-second decision with your PI mind, you're going to miss that hand. You can either choose to win at a cost, which in this case, the fear that's eating at you to trust that Wow Neka might catch you is going to bring on a compulsion. Your derangement will take effect if you take this cost, or you can miss, and you can have one more chance, as it will be harder, as you do the very rapid panicked math that you would be known to do. You might have another shot, but it's going to be harder.
Well, I had a mental breakdown before, and these people seem pretty nice. So I trust that they're not going to hate me for it. And I'm going to do that.
So you take the cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
You fall under your compulsion of delusion.
Oh.
You feel that panic as Grayson slips ahead of you just a moment, and Grayson, you manage to grab onto the rung and grab onto Wild Neka's hand at the last second. It almost tears you away, but Wild Neka's got an iron grip against your forearm, and you iron grip against that ladder and begin to brace yourself against the tide, hooking a leg underneath one of the first rung. They look over just in time to see Onyx. As she's reaching out, she slips backwards and losing her balance, tumbling and fumbling over. Wild Neka just leans out. You hear a sickening pop off Wild Neka's shoulder as he reaches out farther and manages to snag you, Onyx, by the hair and pulls you back. You immediately come out of the water screaming as a full panic attack just hits you, and you manage to just cling onto the rung, just wide-eyed and shaking. Till the next scene ends, you have a -2 dice penalty to resist Terror Frenzy and any dice involving dexterity.
Yep.
Manipulation, composure, and wits. So any dexterity and mental disciplines. But at the last second, as she's screaming, her voice barely audible above the churning sewage, Onyx is shaking and wide-eyed, grasping on, looking like a drowned cat as both Grayson and Onyx, you grab onto the rung, and you just hear Wild Neka as he begins pulling against you guys. Come on! As he's like this with his bare core, leans forward to get you guys on the ladder, and he climbs himself up onto a maintenance ledge. You both are on the ladder. At this point, Acer, you see that just in the nick of time, Wild Neka is able to grab Onyx and get her onto the rung. And Crescent, you're starting to see those hordes of silhouettes coming in. They'll be on you any minute. You and Acer are left.
Acer, seeing the darkness, kind of stops short of where he is. He's just gonna wave his hand almost like a come over and just start yelling out, "Come on, we gotta jump!"
I'll drop the shroud.
The shroud drops, and Acer, you see the gravity of the situation. As soon as that shroud drops, 10, 12 feet away from Crescent, you just see a horde of these savage humans just charging down wide-eyed, their eyes all lock onto Crescent instantaneously. Their vision comes back, almost all unified at once like a hive mind.
Oh, at that point, I'm just kind of like, Crescent, come on, we gotta jump now!
Great! Jumping.
And then as soon as she jumps, I'm going in with her.
You both jump in, the water hits you as you both send tumbling and turning. The fear of what's behind you overreading the fear of what's below you, as you guys also careen. Same thing before. You go around the far side of the fishbowl. You guys feel yourself tumbling and swirling in chaos. You manage to barely pull yourselves to the surface. Strength and dexterity. As Grayson and Onyx are there leaning out to catch both of you. As Onyx is just wide-eyed and shaking.
I'm going to use dexterity because it's now better than my strength. Uh-oh.
What? Don't you uh-oh me. 3 successes.
3 successes. Do you want to burn willpower or rouse?
Since 2 of those successes were on my hunger dice, I can, yes. I'll burn because I need this to work, otherwise I'm going into...
You can also rouse for, like, +4 die, you know that, right?
A rouse for Crescent would add 3.
Oh,
yeah.
she's 2 potency. Okay, I thought she's
3.
I'm 3.
It's a tit for tat. I'm looking at the chart, but it would add 3 for her.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Yeah, I'll rouse the blood.
Yeah, rouse check.
That is a fail.
In the swirling pit of your soul, whatever's left of it, Crescent, that orchid begins to unfurl even wider. You feel that strangling glow as the void slowly becomes visible beneath your very soul, but it empowers your body nonetheless. Take your rouse.
I'm actually going to wait to see if Crescent succeeds, because...
That turns it into 6 successes, so I'm gonna assume yes.
Okay, good, because there's no way I'm making this roll.
Acer, what'd you get?
Well, I haven't rolled yet, because there's no way I'm going to succeed, so I'm just going to use my last far reach to... Basically, as soon as I know Crescent's safe, I'm going to use far reach to launch myself over out of the water onto the ladder.
It doesn't say you can't use it on yourself, and is that pill enhanced?
It is. Both of them were enhanced.
So this roll for you instead, give me a rouse check.
Okay. Success.
Perfect. So, you don't get hungrier. This is going to be your resolve plus alchemy instead.
Okay, that's better.
As you are not relying on your body, you're relying on your own abilities to propel you forward in the right direction.
Okay, now I can potentially make it. I'm a rouse.
Go ahead and rouse.
Fuck. I get hungrier.
You hear that cage begin to... as the visions of you bust through a bent section of the bar is, let me out, you're gonna get us fucking killed, and when I get out, I'm gonna fucking eat that damn red eye of yours, because she's the one that caused all this!
Focus on the currents.
Shut the fuck up, we're going to die!
Oh, you negative Nancy. And... shit. I'm gonna use willpower. 5 successes.
That's what happens. Onyx, you are tetrified, but you're looping your arms to the wrong. You see Crescent and Acer around, coming towards you. You guys can watch as bodies are just careening themselves off the edge, flooding into the soup bowl mix, as right behind Crescent and Acer, abandoning all sense of safety and well-being. They're just tumbling over. You can hear the sounds of choruses of screams and frothing mixed with the churning waves of this water as Acer goes under. You see Crescent barreling towards you as she comes both arms wide, coming straight center of the ladder, and you both catch her and Crescent, you feel that as this ladder just hits you dead center of the chest, causing you to ricochet. You grab onto it as they both haul you onto the ladder. In a moment, where's Acer? You went under, where did he go? And you guys go wide. You want to help him. There's no way you don't see him. All of a sudden, a massive geyser of water ricochets out of the pool, and his body goes flying through the air. And Acer, you look over as you are about 15, 20 feet in the air. You are overshooting the platform above you, and Wild Necker reaches up, grabs you by your scruff, and he falls backwards onto the platform, catching you. As you are dangling over the other side, as he lands hard against the metal itself, but he's got you by the scruff as you just scrabble wide, hold on to the back of the metal as he just one arm over and pulls you onto the actual ledge. Lovely.
Thank you.
Three of you holding onto each other, just soaked to the bone with filth. Slowly pull yourself up over at the bottom ledge of this maintenance platform as you guys just all shaking and terrified look wide-eyed as that horde just funnels out like a plague out of that entryway, just screaming and tumbling all of these souls, all of these people. Grayson, you recognize a few of them. You recognize some of these faces briefly as they just fall before your very eyes into the filth. Some people from your center that left said they found better opportunities. Said that they felt better and they were ready to go. Their family checked them out. Some of these people, you recognize some of them as part of your herd at one point. 10s, 20, 30, maybe 50 souls careened themselves over the edge, wide-eyed, frothing at the mouth, rabid, tearing at the air. You watch as they all disappear into the sleuth, like pebbles falling into a raging rapid, disappearing. What happened to these people? These were people. Were people. Then as the abject terror kind of settles in, you guys come to grips if you just survived that, and at any moment it could have gone so wrong. We'll fade away for now. So far, our coterie has survived these sewers. Are they ready for what might happen next, though? As they continue to wander through the dark, hug your loved ones close. Make sure you check in on them. God bless you all, and we'll see you all next time on While Seattle Sleeps. Good night, everyone.